This podcast is brought to you by JList.com. Right now on JList.com, they are talking about some exciting new pre-orders they have for anime figures. They have Yukino Yukinoshita from My Teen Romantic Comedy. They have Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia. They have cute Nendoroids of Chito and Yuri from Girls Last Tour. Saber/Altria Pendragon from the Fate Grand Order series. Dark Yugi Nendoroids from, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. And, of course, they have hundreds more. They probably have almost 1,000 figures on JList.com. So if you're looking for a new figure for your desk or at home, head over to JList.com for all of your anime figure needs. And now it's time to start the podcast.
来てくれてありがとう. You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous Podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at AAAPodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Yeah, run it. Welcome to podcast episode 457 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. I am your host, Mitsugi, and wherever you're listening from, we are truly pleased to have you join us today. We are hoping that you all enjoy this jam-packed episode that we have for you, and I am joined by the lovely Mandy in Cincinnati.
Hi!
Her mind is spinning with fur balls.
It is! Dancing with fur balls. Hi! I'm not used to being introduced first. Hello! I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Oh, in that voice, you are talking about Enzo from the frozen New York City. How are you, my friend?
It's cold as hell in Brooklyn, boys, but I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And of course, Muay Thai boxing. He'll whoop your ass if you don't be nice to him. His name is Kazuo.
I love how less than 4 seconds into the podcast, Mitz has spilled his drink all over the place.
I did. I was hip thrusting. I was hip thrusting, and I spilled water.
Yeah.
You covered up pretty well though, because I would have not.
Could be worse.
Hilarious.
And
I can't take you anywhere.
And I would like to present unto Kazuo a Marvel pop figure that I acquired from my office of Deadpool.
Is that what this is?
I got it for you.
Aw, thanks,
Aw,
Mitz.
sweet.
Yeah, they had them at my office, and I was like, which figure would Kazuo want? And I didn't have time to ask you because they were going fast.
No, this is...
And I was like, you know what? I'll go with the Deadpool. Why
This
not?
is pretty solid. I have been told by several people that if I were to be a Marvel character, it would be Deadpool.
And this is because I love you.
I've also been told by many people that if I were an animal, I would be a puppy, a hyper puppy.
Really?
Which I don't approve of or appreciate. I feel
Was
like
that the animal we gave him? Whatever.
everybody-
I thought you an otter.
you gave me an otter.
Everyone
Yeah.
loves a puppy, though, okay?
People at work said I was a puppy.
You'd have women all over you all the time.
That's true. It's a good point.
We gave you the otter because of the puns.
Yes, because you ought to know what kind of animal
Yeah,
I
I
am.
don't know. Exactly.
Of course, you can find us at our website, AAAPodcast.com/join. We just did a Hobby Addicts.
It's true.
We offer our Hobby Addicts as exclusive content for those of you that join on the website and help us out. We just did a Hobby Addicts where we talked about a game called Will a Wonderful World, which Mandy was discussing.
Uh-huh.
And we also discussed in detail the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
That's true.
So if you would like to hear both Kazuo and my thoughts on the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Yep. From the perspective of a couple of ancient,
OG.
elderly anime fans.
Elder gods of anime.
Elderly.
I think that Kazuo and I can both say that Goku pretty much raised us as a father.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
me.
So
I didn't have one.
say-
Cthulhu is basically an anime character, right? He's got the tentacles.
Wait, who is?
Cthulhu. I said
Oh.
you said elderly. I said elder gods of anime.
Ah.
And of
And
course,
then
on
my
that,
brain kept
We'll
going.
kill it in the adult scene for anime. Holy shit.
on that Hobby Addicts, Enzo gave us also an update on some esports topics. So for those of you that are into that, you can get it on our Hobby Addicts. But we also offer our after parties and hentai episodes. We are revising our hentai episode format to make it a little bit spicier for you guys. So if you want to check all of that out, you can do it over at AAAPodcast.com/join. Also, of course, you can join us on our Discord. The Discord is... Are we at 1,000 people yet?
You know what, Mitz? I can tell you
Why don't you
in
check for me?
just a moment. Please.
Discord
Full time.
over at the website along the top. There's a join the Discord button. You click it, it takes you straight to it. You just click join. It takes probably a second. And I'm really curious if we're at 1,000 yet because it seems
We
like
have
it just-
926.
Oh, Mandy's
Damn,
quick on the draw.
She's fast.
I had to open the
So
program.
help us get to 1,000. It's a pretty big community. Lots of people on there talking all the time.
I will say, for
All,
some
like,
reason,
all the time.
we have 2,500 subscribers on YouTube. So we passed that
Wow,
recently.
is that still growing?
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
bit by bit. We don't really pimp it at all.
No.
So, if you're subscribed to us on there, that's cool. You get to watch
But
the
our
actual...
amazing new social manager is doing great.
Icy
is.
Rose is doing a great job. So
Yeah.
Get him, Icy.
Get him, Icy.
all right. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about our ideal Toonami blocks for new fans, which was suggested by Chili on the Discord. So for those of you that somehow may not know what Toonami is, back in the day, and well, pretty much
Now,
for the last 20 years,
there was a dead period.
Yeah.
For several years.
So Toonami is basically a 2-hour block on Cartoon Network of anime content. So it's been around since we were children. And so we're going to be
Forever.
discussing our ideal blocks for new fans on the Toonami block. And we also are going to be beginning our winter 2019 anime impressions. We have The Promised Neverland, Circlet Princess, Dororo, Grimm's Notes, the animation, and Morose,
Morose.
whatever.
That's an English word, Mitz.
Okay.
Morose.
Oh, die.
Morose Mononokean.
Mononokean.
Does anybody know what morose means?
Yeah, doesn't it mean
It's
like
like-
really dark?
Like
and...
grumpy, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's like I feel
I
quite
guess we don't know
morose today.
because both of you
Like
said something.
ill-tempered.
Both of you said something different.
Well, the definition is literally ill-tempered, so I have reason to believe Mandy Googled that.
Well,
I said grumpy.
I know for one thing, you didn't know what it meant, Kazuo.
I know morose is like I just know it as being like dark, and I suppose ill-tempered could be.
It's a
viewed that way.
25-cent word.
Look,
it's
man.
okay. It's okay.
I barely graduated high school. I'm not gonna know these things. I graduated high school on a technicality.
Nice.
Well, there's always that. And with that, let's start the podcast.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
All right, so we got a kind of a two-parter here.
Twofer.
Well, yeah, it's been like in the news a lot. It was on pretty much every site I go to get news. Japan is pretty pumped up because Naomi Osaka won her second Grand Slam title in singles tennis
Nice.
Wow.
and is now ranked #1 in the world in tennis. And this pretty much, she's the first ever player in Japan's history to be ranked #1 in tennis in the world.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
dude,
nuts.
she's making so much history. It's awesome.
So they're pretty jacked up about her. Fans in Osaka, where she's from, which is pretty funny because her last name is Osaka,
And she's from Osaka. That's hilarious.
Many Japanese fans were waving flags and celebrated her match in the Australian Open final. Some people saying, quote, "I'm deeply moved. I can only say she's fantastic," which was from a 58-year-old woman.
I'm gonna
in
change
Osaka.
my name to Kazuo the Bronx.
That's pretty badass. I'm gonna be
Oh my
I'm gonna be
Mitz,
Mitsuki,
West Virginia.
West
I
Virginia.
like how you're making your first name Kazuo.
I know, right?
I figure while I'm at it, I might as well.
Some children were weighing into. I think she was able to win because of her serves were on target, said 9-year-old Chihiro Matoba after Osaka
Chihiro
beat
out
the Czech
here.
Republic's Petra Kvitova in the final. I just think it's cute when like little kids weigh in.
I know, right?
Also, a 74-year-old grandfather of Osaka, Tetsuo Osaka, told reporters, quote, "I'm proud of my granddaughter. I want to tell her congratulations." So, of course, some of her colleagues, some of her Japanese tennis colleagues were also supporting her on social media. So that's pretty badass. She's
Yeah,
been in
dude,
the news.
Isn't she
She's
real
so
young, too?
cool. Have you guys seen interviews of her? Like she was on Ellen. She was doing the.
She was on Ellen?
On Ellen, yeah, she was on
Get
Ellen,
outta here.
and she like when she's on the court, she's literally extremely fierce and extremely powerful. In interviews, she's like the shyest person in the universe.
Oh.
It is so mind-boggling. Like this, Naomi takes on the Williams sisters head on and beats them, and then is too shy to talk to Ellen on the Ellen show.
I was
It's
gonna say, from this picture of her, she looks like serious business.
I know, but like, it reminds me of like all like the like all like the sport animes. Like the quiet one is just like the Beast.
Yeah.
like that's basically her.
So she's 21 years old. Of
Okay.
course,
Yeah, dude.
Of course, as is maybe the case with a she's half Japanese, right? So she's half Haitian,
Yeah,
half
correct.
Half Japanese.
Have
Which, of cour-
Haitian, you said?
That's what they said
Yeah.
on the Japan Times, I think. Which of course comes with a lot of things in Japan because it's always the derogatory terms for the half Japanese people.
Mhm.
There was a controversy. I don't know exactly when this all went down. It was obviously recent because it was on the Japan Times this week. The Nissin Cup Noodle Company had an advertisement that was made, an anime ad that was made that had her in it because she's famous and they want to promote their noodles. However, it was pulled from pretty much everything because of a whitewashing controversy, of course, which is not we're not new to the whitewashing controversies in the
Unfortunately, yeah.
in the world. So the apparently the Nissin Food Company received approval for this ad from her management agency in Japan, but never actually got permission from the U.S. counterpart. So, which basically says to me that Japan was fine, didn't even think about whitewashing, and then the United States was up in arms about it, which is showing you an interesting cultural like divide.
Yeah, this is a little strange, man. Like Mitsuki, thank you for I don't know if Mitsuki or Icy Rose or put the pictures on here, but like it really puts it into perspective, like how much they changed her. Well, yeah, because her skin's a whole lot like in the anime. Wow. Oh
Well,
man.
in this case, I think it's a little bit more egregious because, previously with like Ghost in the Shell, it was like, oh, well, the Major's not a real person. She's a cyborg. Who is she? What is she? And here you have a real person whose lineage and actual likeness is pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct. Yeah.
now I get it. They made her an anime character, and we all know. I mean, anime characters should mostly be Asian, but they all look white.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
the vast majority.
The vast majority, 99% of the time, they look white. They look the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So they made her an anime character, which is probably why Japan didn't even think about it. They were like, oh, this might have been why. They were like, oh, she's an anime character. Like, it just looks like an anime character. But that's not really how we think in the U.S., and we're not really also not accustomed to how anime looks.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's still pretty... She looks really different.
yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm just looking at these two pictures. I'm like, that's not even her, bro.
Yeah, it's especially concerning because like Japan doesn't have the best history when it comes to like accepting people of other cultures and ethnicities. Like it's not as like violent as our history has been with like race and racism, but like they are not the most open and accepting when it comes to other types of people. Like
Yeah.
Well, and they're definitely not accepting of the quote unquote hafus,
Yeah.
as they put it, because they're racist against even Japanese people that aren't pure Japanese.
right.
So I mean, that's been the case for tons of people forever.
For eons.
Way back to like the Miss Universe that we had. I think she was Miss Universe. We had the same exact thing with the Miss Universe. She was half Japanese and was having a hard time.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot of
She got a lot of shit.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you that haven't seen the pictures, more or less the anime likeness of Naomi shows her about as white as you can get, with hair that's totally different.
The hair is the hair is so different, and like the skin, like it has a shade of brown, but Naomi is like she's like very brown. Like
She's pretty
her
dark,
skin is
yeah.
very tan. and
Kazuo
very
holds
brown.
his arm
I
up.
was putting my arm next to the anime character's arm, and I'm darker.
Yeah, exactly. and I'm pretty sure she's darker than me and Kazuo. So
Yeah.
they really were like, let's turn that down, which is so fucked. But
Yeah.
What can
Oh,
you
okay.
do?
I'm looking up a different picture. Maybe I'm old, but I couldn't see that picture very well. Now I found a larger one. Yeah, I definitely see it now.
They're very
Anyway.
different. So I'm not surprised the ads got pulled. I mean, like, doesn't even
Yeah.
look like her, man.
Of course, Naomi doesn't seem to
Yeah,
care all that
definitely.
much. At least she doesn't seem to. She made no comment about this, so hopefully she's just not paying attention. And
She probably just doesn't want to stir the
fucking
pot.
she's just
she's
shredding the tennis court, man. She doesn't have time for that.
she's drinking champagne out of trophies, and
I do feel for her
enjoying
though,
playing
because
tennis.
there was that story not too long ago where she like beat one of the Williams sisters, and like everyone booed her. I don't know if you
Oh.
remember that story.
That was so sad. That was so sad.
And she was like crying and like couldn't even be interviewed.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, so it's rough.
Well, that's sports. People are rough. Anyway, but that was a good opening story because it's a very. Whenever I see like a story that spans pretty much every news outlet that I go to, I'm like,
Gotta
well,
talk about
I'm
it.
like everyone's talking about this, so including Japan. So, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
皆さんおめでとうございます Join us in Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner!
Yo. It's Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner, where you guys can write in and let me know something that you've accomplished or you're working on that you think is cool so we can celebrate you. Woo! God,
Celebrate!
I'm in it today. Anyway, this one comes from Oni. That's my ear.
What? So weird.
Okay.
That's
Try
my
to say that
ear.
with a sexy voice.
Oni, that's my ear.
I feel like Enzo's regular
I
voice
hated
is a
that.
sexy voice.
I really hated that.
son, my ear. Kimochi.
All right. Okay,
Yatte
guys.
no
Guys, this is a special moment for this person.
All right, sorry.
Well, maybe they should have considered that before they put their name.
Anyway, Oni, that's my ear says. They say, "Oh, legendary Enzo Senpai, notice my great achievement of entering the mystical world of motion design. I've recently been accepted into an elite private college where I am in a 3-year instead of a 4-year bachelor program where I am double majoring in motion design and graphic design. So here comes my anime. Watch out, kiddos." Oh, I read that last part wrong. So here comes my anime. Watch out, kiddos. All
So
right.
motion and graphic design.
Motion and graphic design. Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, that's what you need. You need those for the anime move.
So
It's hard.
In
So,
3 years,
congrats.
we could have them make an animated intro for the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Oni, I want you. Oni, listen.
Oh, shit.
I know this is 3 years out for you, right? I know, but listen, we'll be here. We'll still be here. We'll be doing this.
So just start storyboarding right now.
Yeah, just start. You got 3 years to make an OP for us. Okay.
Yes.
A
Or
minute and
maybe
a half. A minute and a
for-
half over 3 years. That ain't nothing.
or if
right?
it's for
You
your
can do it.
portfolio.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Nice.
Use
I
us
like
for your
it.
school projects. You know what I'm saying?
I went for 3D animation. That shit's so hard. So good luck. I
Good
can't
luck.
hear you, but
Drink a lot of coffee, okay?
yeah, definitely.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
on
yeah.
your program, by the way.
Good
yeah,
on
you know,
you.
it takes
Good.
striving for things that you want to do takes a lot of hard work, but if you stick with it, then you will get rewarded in the end in some way.
Absolutely.
So stick
And
with
we'll be here with you the whole time, friend. So good
Fun,
luck.
right.
fun Cosmo fact.
Yeah.
I was accepted into an art school out of high school.
Really?
Oh
But I
my
didn't
God.
go because I didn't have the money, and my grades weren't good enough in high school, so I couldn't get a scholarship.
It'd be that way
Wow.
sometimes.
I dropped out of school.
And then
because
I
couldn't
never
afford it.
drew again.
I did not go
Oh,
out of school, but
no.
now I am plundered in debt. So we got all facets of options here, boys.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Howdy, partner. I seen you riding in on that dusty trail. Welcome to the good, the bad, and the moe.
all right, here we go. Let's run through this. On the good, the bad, and the moe, we first have the good. Netflix develops a Resident Evil series.
Is this good, Mitz, or
It
is
is
it
good.
evil?
It's
I was gonna say,
is it
is this better than the movies?
evil? So Netflix is developing a series based on Capcom's Resident Evil Survivor horror game franchise, which has been getting an unusual amount of press lately. I feel like series is going to maintain the basic premise of the games, but will, quote, deepen the existing mythology, and the story will explore, quote, the dark inner workings of the Umbrella Corporation and the New World Order caused by the outbreak of the T virus. The Constantine film, which produced all 6 films of the Paul W.S. Anderson directed Resident Evil franchise, is again handling the direction of the series.
I'm gonna be sick. I'm sorry.
And it doesn't mention if Mila Jovovich is going to be in the series or not.
You know what I love about Mila Jovovich?
She's really hot.
Well, there's that, but also she was in The Fifth Element,
Yeah.
and at that time she married the director. Then they got divorced, and she married Paul W.S. Anderson, and then was in all of the Resident Evil movies.
Interesting.
It's very...
That's one way to do
Did I miss
it.
this? Is it animated or is this live action?
It didn't say,
Oh, okay.
but I will say that regardless of what you think about the Resident Evil movies, and I have seen one of them, they all have been hugely financially successful.
Well,
Yeah, they make around 200 to 300 million worldwide and have a budget of about 30 million.
yeah.
So they make money, which is probably why Netflix wants it. The bad, Japan's influenza outbreak strikes the voice acting industry.
No.
Multiple voice actors canceled events this week due to illness. Takuma Tadeshima, who has been in Cute High Earth Defense Club Love and other things, could not appear during his scheduled live broadcast on January 23rd due to contracting influenza. Voice actor Wataru Hatano wrote on his Twitter account that he was also sick with the flu. Junichi Suwabe also said that he was down with influenza on the 26th.
Mandy knows all these people.
I do.
She's taking this shit to
He
heart.
has such
dude.
like a smooth Playboy voice.
So-
So sad.
Suwabe had to cancel his appearance at the Fate
does
Stay
Victor.
Night Heaven's Feel 2 event. Also, since the year began, Yuto Uemura, Chiharu Sawashiro, Yumiri Hanamori, Dikako Aida, Yoshino Nanjo, and Shiori Mikami have also all canceled due to the flu. 2.1 million Japanese people currently have the flu.
You might as well have just made all of those names up. I don't know any of those people.
And with the Moe, in what is said to be a startling post by Anime News Network, which I don't know how startling it is really, Yamakon again hints that he may retire from anime. This guy's such a mess. Yutaka Yamamoto, otherwise Yamakon, wrote that he's considering retirement from the anime industry and wrote more wild comments ahead of his release of his new film Twilight, which is done by his own studio, Twilight Studio, and the movie's coming out in May of 2019, saying that, quote, there are a few decent people among the staff in the anime industry, but that the fan side is terrible and growing worse each year. He added in the
Get
post
wrecked.
that quote, vicious critics are banned from the film. If they attempt to watch the film, he will take, quote, physical measures to prevent them and legal measures if they successfully see the movie.
Well, we are not invited,
I love
guess.
this guy. I love him.
This guy's like, yo, I don't got time for haters, bruh.
Yamamoto he's pretty much in the news every time because he keeps talking shit. He said
ridiculous.
he said bad things about handicapped people.
Jesus
He
Christ.
said bad things about otaku. He's
Oh my
just
God.
his personal Twitter account and the account of his studio, Twilight Studio, and Phil Animation Studio were all suspended last year for violating Twitter's policies of like writing
Yo.
abusive comments.
Oh my god.
guy-
This guy is crazy.
Is a crazy raving.
Rah, rah. It's just taking shots.
He's
Yeah.
taking shots, my guy. Holy shit.
You know, I appreciate his willingness to speak his mind,
I
but he is talking some he hates anime fans. He hates
I just
them.
love the part where he's like, "Don't talk shit about my movie. I will push you out of the theater."
Well, because if you go to the link that I provided, and I don't want to go on too long about this.
Yeah.
And if you go to the link that he provided, he said that
That's what he looks like.
that he said that the film Twilight, he wanted to let readers know that it was not a film for otaku and that its slogan is, quote, otaku rejection. So it's a pretty different type of movie. So he's basically
So
gonna like
weird.
he's gonna raise the industry to the ground and then walk away.
Dude,
So
Right.
this quote here, it says,
Insane.
Yamamoto ends his post by stating that, quote, there is no reason to live unless I swallowed down a bunch of medicine, and that he wants to quit anime before he goes crazy. It sounds
I
like
think
he
he's
might
already
already be, yeah.
He's
God.
already
Too
Too
there.
late, buddy.
he
Sorry,
added that
my dude.
he added that he does not want anyone to try to stop him from quitting this time, unless they are prepared to completely change the industry, which he describes as full of madmen. So I think we found the madman.
Goodness.
I love
it's-
it.
and
I
it's
want
Yamakan.
to know this guy. I want to get coffee with this dude.
He is just like a crazy old. He's not even that old, is he?
Yeah, he's like 44.
he was the director of Wake Up Girls, Kanagi. He did some of Lucky Star.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The weird thing about this guy is that he makes these comments all the time, and every time I go, "What the hell is he talking about?" I still don't know what his
Dude,
beef is. I need someone to write me a clear paragraph describing why he's pissed.
Dude, Chris Marek in the YouTube chat says Yamakan is taking his Miyazaki impression a bit too far.
A little bit, buddy.
Except no one cares if he quits.
Yeah. You haven't put in enough work to merit that.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, the trivia this week. Who wants to do the trivia? Good Lord.
I guess I'll grab it. So the trivia this week on the website, of course, you can head there, AAAPodcast.com, scroll down, answer the trivia. The answer is When Marnie Was There. And the winner for the week is Nelly 1876.
I'm pretty impressed because it was just a picture of food. I mean, You still knew it. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the theme is Ghibli foods, so that will continue on. So head on over to the website for the next trivia that will be available. But if you can't wait until then, we have an in-show weekly trivia question. And that is, Dragon Ball Z was 291 episodes long. How long was Dragon Ball Kai, the shorter and much more concise retelling? Let us know in the chat, and we'll give you the answer right after the break.
Hey, all you anime fans, Mitsuki's here to the rescue with your first anime news break. And leading us off today, PA Works has announced an original TV anime that's going to be called Fairy Gone for the spring of 2019. The synopsis is a story that takes place in a world where fairies possess and dwell in animals, giving them mysterious abilities. By removing the organs of the possessed animals and transplanting them into humans, fairies can be summoned as an alter ego and used as a weapon. Such individuals who used fairies for war tools were called fairy soldiers. Once the war was over and they completed their roles, the soldiers lost their purpose and some began working for the government, some joined the mafia, and some even became terrorists, as each chose their own way to live, which sounds like a pretty interesting story premise, and I'll be looking out for this PA Works title, Fairy Gone, that's going to be coming out in the spring of 2019. And next up, another anime is getting an adaptation. Light novel Infinite Dengrogram is getting a TV anime. This is the synopsis. In the year 2043, the world's first successful full dive VR MMO was released. In addition to its ability to perfectly stimulate the five senses, along with its many other amazing features, the game promises to offer players a full world of infinite possibilities. Nearly 2 years later, soon-to-be college freshman Reiji Mukudori is finally able to buy a copy of the game and starts playing with the help of his experienced older brother and his partner Embro. Reiji embarks on an adventure into the world of Infinite Dengrogram, which is a VR MMORPG. So, if you're a fan of this type of story, it looks like you're going to be getting another one coming out pretty soon, so look out for Infinite Dengrogram coming out sometime soon. Next up, the winner of the 73rd Mainichi Film Awards has been announced, and the film Wakao Kami wa Shogakuse, the movie, won the award for Best Animated Feature. This is based on the novel by Hiroko Reijo and Asami. Madhouse and DLE produced the film with director Kitaro Kosaka. So it's a film that opened up in Japan last year on September 21st and earned about $31 million in Japan. G-Kids does have a license for the film for North America, and it's going to be screening it in theaters in April of 2019. So if you want to see the winner of the 73rd Mainichi Film Awards, G-Kids is going to be bringing it to theaters in the USA sometime in the middle of next year. Next up and lastly, we have more from PA Works. PA Works has created a 1-minute ad to promote the League of Legends video game. The, of course, multiplayer online battle game League of Legends. It's very popular throughout the world, and PA Works has put out some advertising. You can watch the 1-minute promo that was created for the video game in anime style. It's out on their YouTube channels. So if you want to check out a little nifty sort of blend, clashing of worlds between games and anime, this has happened before, but it's usually interesting when it does. So go check out the League of Legends promo, which can be found online, including on YouTube. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now we're going to get back to the podcast. Hey addicts, podcasting is hard. It takes a lot of work, dedication, time, and money to keep the show running the way we want for all of you wacky anime addicts out there.
But even more than all this, it helps to have support from you, the listeners, so we feel the love, but also so we can keep the lights on.
If you've been enjoying the podcast and want to support the show, you can head over to AAAPodcast.com/join or Patreon to throw us a couple of dollars.
A little bit goes a long way, and we'll reward you with our extra content. 8 additional episodes of After Parties, Hobby Addicts, and of course, hentai episodes per month.
With all this money, we can buy me a pizza.
We can make sure Manny never runs out of manga.
I can finally buy that pompadour I've always wanted.
And I can dig the anime pit of hell just a little bit deeper. Help us stay in business, and we'll help your ear holes with tons of extra content to enjoy. Head over to AAAPodcast.com/join now to support the podcast. And thank you. What does Kazuo think of Evangelion?
I understand that End of Evangelion was a conclusion for the series, but that didn't come out till way later. That's like someone giving you a cheeseburger, but instead of like the meat, it's dog shit. And then later on, they're like, oh, here's the meat patty. Yeah, but I already ate this shit burger. I mean, I get that the meat patty kind of like helps, but the burger is on its own. So that's kind of how I view Evangelion. It's like a dog shit burger with a meat patty that you get later. So no, I didn't really enjoy it all that much.
You don't like eating dog shit?
Only on Wednesdays.
Ah.
Such
Yes.
soothing, beautiful music.
Welcome back.
Just take a nap.
You know what? Yeah, let's all just lay down, everybody who's listening.
Just turn the lights off.
I want you to think about something you're grateful for.
Screw this shit.
Get a blanket.
Welcome back, baby!
Yeah, we live!
I love it.
Woo! Oh, so hard.
Sekai wa no senjo no sa never tomaranai. Alright, welcome back to the 457th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. We had an intro trivia question. Someone.
Yes, we did.
Anyone.
Yes, I got it. Before the break, we asked you, Dragon Ball Z was 291 episodes long. How long was Dragon Ball Kai? The shorter, much more concise retelling?
290.
Just in time, baby, because...
Dangerous! Most dangerous! Dangerous! Most dangerous! 地獄に落ちた戦士たち
97 whole dangerous episodes, baby.
97 dangerous episodes.
So that means there was almost 200 episodes of just non-essential material in Dragon Ball Z.
That's hilarious.
That's insane.
Well, that was exciting.
Ebony in the chat says, I just came into a lots and lots of screaming. This is a good way to wake myself up.
Yup. You're welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to one of the longest running anime podcasts in the world.
One of the most dangerous.
What is this?
contrast, Jesus Christ.
And now, let's take a minute for the manga minute.
Time to
with
sleep, whoever
Matty.
said that. That was in the chat.
Damn. All right, welcome to Mandy's. Wait, are you saying that my manga minute is so boring that we're all gonna?
No,
sleep
no,
now?
but the music is so
It's very soothing. Well, this is Mandy's Manga Minute, where I take a minute to tell you about a manga and hope you find something new to read. And this one is about Spirit Circle. Futa Okaya can see ghosts. Besides that, in the bandage he wears, he always keeps on his cheek, he's a perfectly normal 14-year-old boy enamored with the new transfer student. Unfortunately, Koko Ishigami wants little to do with him. A strange ghost that follows her, however, seems to feel quite differently. But when Koko sees the strange birthmark hidden beneath the bandage on Futa's cheek, she has a change of heart, for the worse. Not only does she denounce him as one of her enemies, but she claims that that the birthmark is a curse she engraved upon his face during one of their many past lives. What happened between Koko and Futa, and what is the connection to this strange, fantastical dream that Futa begins with? Spirit Circle is an action seinen series written and illustrated by Saroshi Mizukami, who is also the author of Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, and Planet Whip, which aired last year. The series is complete with all 6 volumes available in English by publisher 7 Seas. And I've read 3 of the 6 volumes so far, and Spirit Circle it's so fascinating. I am really enjoying it a lot. It's not a complicated story, but it is very interesting to see this young boy relive all of his past life and how he has clashed with Koko throughout all of them. The lives span across different eras and different countries, and each one having a similar outcome concerning the 2 main characters. And he realizes that all of his friends, everyone that he's connected to, has been with him throughout all of his lives. And despite how his past lives concluded, Futa still wants to be friends with Koko. And so it evolves from a story about vengeance into one about forgiveness and friendship. And there's a lot of decent action scenes, a lot of drama. And the downside to this manga, though, is the art. It's a bit bland, but I still highly recommend it, and I am excited to finish the rest of it. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it.
I'm intrigued by the Biscuit Hammer.
Me too.
What is that?
Yeah,
I haven't read
what
that
is
one yet, but that's on my list. That's on my list for manga minutes.
All right. Well, thank you, Mandy, as always.
No problem.
And you guys should come join the Discord because you can join the Manga Club
That's true.
with Mandy.
Yeah, we're doing Promise Neverland.
Oh, shit.
Oh, so Kazuo could totally read this time and join us on Wednesday.
What?
Can you read Cosmo?
No, not at all.
Oh, shit.
shit. Time to learn.
I'm afraid I can't.
But there are
It's
pictures.
against my religion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. So, main topic today, the ideal Toonami block for new fans, suggested by Chili on the Discord. Again, if you join the Discord, you can be a part of the show by suggesting topics we'll do.
That's true.
So Chili wrote, and this is like directly from the Discord, what would be your ideal Toonami block in this day and age to get some new anime addicts into anime / make everyone else's anime addiction worse? Why would you choose each of these? And by the way, we haven't really said that slogan. We need to keep saying it.
The Make Your Anime Addiction Worse slogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should say it.
We
I like
kind of
that.
forgot. We
All
used
right.
to.
We used to say all the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What is the mission of this podcast?
To find
money.
Kazuo a wife.
Oh.
No, wait, that's not. No? Is
Find
that-
out a wife.
Oh, never mind.
Burp, burp.
No, okay.
All right, so going with the main topic.
You never said it.
To make your anime addiction worse,
Oh my
obviously.
goodness.
To make your
Okay.
heckin' anime addiction worse, boys.
All right, so Chili continues. Why would you choose each of these anime? These anime can come from any point in time. So, I will start off since I'm on the first on the list here. I wanted to try to pick anime that had a great. I wanted to try to pick a great variety of anime and also from different time periods.
Before we get into it, should we explain what Toonami is for those who don't know?
We
Go
should.
I feel like
we
most would know, but
Go
if you
right
don't, basically a like 4-hour block, or I forget how many hours, 2 hour block. It's
Like
changed throughout time.
2 to 3, 2 to 3.
Yeah, like it was way back in the day, late 90s through the early 2000s. Then it died
Yeah.
for several years. Then was brought back because of an online campaign called Bring Toonami Back. And there was a nerdcore rapper who released like a song online named, I think, Richie Branson. What's his name?
How do you know this?
I met him once at an anime con, and I had a bottle of like whiskey in my backpack, and so we did shots together after one of his concerts.
Of course you did.
And then we hung out, went up to the hotel room with a bunch of people and stuff, and had like an after party.
Everybody got laid.
I wanna go off that like that actually like really nicely concise synopsis of what Toonami is, bro. Good job. That was really good.
Thanks. But it is back now, so you know.
It's back now, and for those who had not seen the Toonami block before, it is regarded as probably one of the most influential blocks of TV for anyone that's an anime fan, or for almost everyone that's an anime fan, because this is what, like, if you were a kid during Toonami time, like prime time Toonami time, you watched really good shit just for 3 hours straight. For example, from March 2003, from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., you had G Gundam, DBZ, Yu Hakusho, and Ronin Kenshin all in a row.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Watch that. And then another because I went on a huge nostalgia trip with this topic, and I was like, yo, let me look up some blocks.
Hell yeah.
And then in January 2001, you had 6 shows. You had Ronin Warriors, Sailor Moon, DBZ, Tenchi Muyo, Batman the Animated Series, and Outlaw Star. The second
badass
you go home
as
from
hell.
school. Dude.
Outlaw Star is so good.
Outlaw Star is so good. You have to see that every day at 6:30 p.m. Are you kidding?
Oh my god, dude.
Good times. I remember those blocks, man. They made me who I am for sure.
When I was growing up, we never had cable, so I never got to watch Toonami.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You missed out.
I remember one time I was playing Chrono Trigger.
Mm.
Oh.
No, it was Chrono Cross. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting on my living room floor playing Chrono Cross, and I'm like, oh shit, time for Toonami. Save, done.
Yeah.
You gotta
Totally.
watch Toonami.
Totally.
So last year in 2018, just to give you an idea of where they are now, they're doing an okay job picking shows. In 2018, they showed My Hero Academia, and some of these are hit or miss. Fully progressive. Pop Team Epic. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is Unbreakable. Fully alternative. Boruto, Naruto, The Next Generations. Mob Psycho 100, and Megalobox. So they're paying attention. Like whoever's picking these shows is picking, and I know why they pick Fully because they used to show it on Toonami back in the day.
Yeah, that's like a throwback.
But like they're paying attention to what the popular stuff is, which makes sense because they want to get ratings. So, although I will say that putting JoJo on at like 3:00 when 10-year-old kids are going to be watching is a little rough.
Yeah.
Do you want 10-year-old kids watching JoJo?
Well,
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, they shadowed out his cigarettes, so.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, like Toonami will take the steps to like censor a little bit. Like for example, I'm looking here at the table we have, and in 2015, Kill la Kill was on Toonami.
Oh my goodness.
True. Yeah.
So they
So was
take
Parasite.
the steps. They take the steps. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to pick our shows to introduce new anime fans if we were in control of Toonami. And I got 4 shows here. So this is going to be my 2-hour block.
Okay.
I wanted to pick shows that were from different time periods and also were of different types of genres. So because everyone likes different stuff.
Nice. Okay.
And the first show I picked was Rage of Bahamut.
Yes.
Ooh, interesting pick, bro.
And the reason why I picked this is because the pacing is fantastic. So in Rage of Bahamut, that show is like
Genesis, we should say.
Yeah, the first one. That show is just moving, like right off the bat. There's like they're running on like water wheels through town and shit in the first episode. And so it's really quick to hook the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And it also looks great. Like the animation is pretty awesome in that show. It's got so many moving parts. There's an exciting premise, and it has really familiar, likable themes in it that a lot of people can kind of grab onto, like dragons, angels, demons, bounty hunters. And it's going to remind people maybe of like stuff that they've seen in pop culture before. Sure. So I think Rage of Bahamut is like a really good casual anime fan show. And it's not so violent that you can't put it on TV. Like a 14-year-old could watch Rage of Bahamut.
Sure.
I don't recall there being anything like extremely graphic or sexual.
No, I mean a couple like minor sexual scenes, but nothing.
I mean, on Rage of Bahamut, specifically, nothing. I don't recall anything too crazy like the.
And if you need to cut a scene out here or there, like go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Or
the
just black
Cerberus
bar it.
girl was kind of scantily clad.
I love me that
Very
Cerberus
scantily
girl.
clad. Yeah,
Now,
right?
now we know why
I
Mitch
love her
picked
little
it.
puppets.
Oh yeah, bring that
Mitch is
Cerberus
thinking
girl
about his
straight
young
to
self,
me.
and it's like my young self really needed to see this succubus girl when he was young.
It's true.
It was very pivotal to my mental development as a child.
Oh, sure.
Wow. Well, that explains a lot.
Of course it does. And now you know. I feel like we're closer now, Cosmo, because now you know.
What's weird is
Me.
we grew up on the same content, but went two very different ways.
What? What do you mean? All right. So my second show, I picked a sports show. Toonami doesn't, to my knowledge,
I don't know if they've ever done sports.
have a history of doing sports shows. But guess what? Kids that come home from school, there a lot of them are doing sports in school, and a lot of kids are interested in sports. I mean,
Yeah.
and adults too. But like a lot of kids, like in my high school, you had to take a sport every season.
Really?
You had to.
Oh.
And like, there's a lot of kids are playing like baseball, soccer, especially basketball. Some kids play football. There's a lot of sports being done by like high school kids and middle school kids. So, and I didn't want to pick a show that was so like. I wanted to pick a sport that was very relatable for Americans, because Toonami is mostly an American thing.
Okay.
And so I picked Major.
Oh, I was going to say competitive eating, but that's close.
Oh my God, what?
I don't know.
Is
You know,
there?
there is a manga about competitive eating.
I know.
So Major's about baseball. It's a sport that people care about, and it's never been on Toonami. It's shonen, so it's intended for younger people, but it also would be sort of likable for adult audiences because they do grow up and they do more adult things in the show. It's long as hell.
Yeah.
Major is 6 seasons, so that crap could be on TV.
And these are long
seasons.
seasons.
Yeah.
Like the first season's like, I want to say 24 episodes or something like that.
I think the whole thing of Major is like 160 episodes or so.
Yeah.
So that thing could run on TV for a while.
Yeah.
And
you have
honestly,
reruns and shit too.
And honestly, it looks great and is super good. Like, Major's a great show. So
And it's a show that kids can grow with.
that's right.
Yeah,
Because
that's-
Gordo was a
that's
kid
huge.
at one point.
Oh, they had Prince of Tennis. So I was all I was doing
yeah.
was looking like, wow, they really didn't have any sports shows.
Yeah, Prince of Tennis.
That's all I was looking at.
a
It's a
thing.
bad choice, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, that was a thing.
First of all, no one in the, like, I shouldn't say nobody, but like tennis is probably like the 7th most popular sport in the U.S. Football, basketball, the major 4 are
Football,
hockey,
basketball, baseball,
and
hockey.
Then MMA's got to be after that.
Yeah, boxing.
I mean, what's after that? Maybe is tennis or swimming next?
I would say tennis over swimming
Tennis?
for sure.
I'm not really sure. So tennis is like maybe the 6th, number 6. And plus, Prince of Tennis is. Do we like that? I don't think it's very good.
I've watched a few episodes of it back in the day, and it didn't really grab me.
I watched.
I tried to watch it from the beginning, and I don't know, it didn't do what like Haikyuu does for me, which is like emotional development of people.
I watched the new Prince of Tennis for the podcast, and that was horrendous.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna pivot here, and so I'm grabbing like the fantasy audience, trying to grab some of the sports audience. Now I'm gonna go for like the sci-fi audience, and maybe more of like a female audience with a certain scientific railgun and a certain scientific railgun S. It's 2 seasons. They're largely the same thing. So you got about 52 episodes to work with. I think it's 52. And never been on Toonami before. It's a sci-fi show. It has great action in it. It has predominantly female characters that are actually like strong females. Like the Railgun Girl is a total badass.
Yeah.
And she's like a high schooler that is notorious and has almost like X-Men type superhero powers. It has fairly good comedy in it, and I think it's a pretty good representative anime of the last 15 years. Like Railgun is a show that was really popular, and you could say like name a show that like stamped a mark on anime sometime in the last 2 decades, and there's a lot of those, but Railgun's probably one of those. So I'm gonna throw that out there because it's just totally different than the other two. And then turn it on its head with the rounding out the block. Planetes, which is that show, which is that sci-fi show about garbage collectors in space.
Yeah.
With a little more of a mature show, but it's like let's introduce the fans to something that's a little older and is a little more serious to give people that are just not looking for superpowers and shonen, something a little bit extra, because Breiji Bahamut is serious at times, but but Planetes is more of like a realistic serious with like relationships and like human drama. not just the drama of like sealing a dragon from destroying the world. Okay, and Planet Test is like really quite funny also. And as I said, it's totally out of the box compared to not just the anime that I've listed on this like quote on this theoretical block, but is sort of out of the box for just anime in general. So, maybe it'll help attract the audience that's sort of looking for something that isn't the typical run-of-the-mill anime show. And Planet Test is amazing. Like, it's out of the 4 shows I've listed here, it may be the best of the 4. So, I mean, if you haven't seen Planet Test and you're just listening, and you want to see like a super great sci-fi show, Planet Test is fantastic. And I've mentioned it before on the podcast. So
Yeah.
Okay.
and that's my 2 hours.
All right.
So I went fantasy, sports, sci-fi, and then like more of like a real. I guess there's 2 sci-fi shows, but one of them is a little more like, realistic sci-fi as opposed to like kids with powers.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I went.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say I went much more like modern with
Okay.
mine. So Toonami currently airs Saturdays from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it's like a super late night overnight block.
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I did mine, I was thinking like
Like after
3 to 5 or
Like
5
after
4
school?
to 6.
Sure. Yeah. That's the old school Toonami block. So I went with more of a like an Adult Swim Toonami, like that late night.
That makes sense because I was wondering for one of those picks you have, I was like, how the fuck do I put that in front of
yeah.
kids?
and I specifically ordered them in the time slots that I wanted. So
Right.
the first show I have on my Toonami block, my late night Saturday 11 p.m. Toonami block is, and these are all pretty current shows. It's That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
People are loving
So
that show.
solid.
Yes, because
It's everywhere.
I'm loving that
It's
show.
really adorable.
yeah, because
It's
one, I
awesome.
love that show, but also I feel like it's a show that is broad enough to like grab people and get them into it. So that's you
And
want to
it
like
moves fast too.
yeah, you want to like hook them from the start, and I feel like that's a really that's a show that anybody can enjoy. For those that are unaware, it's an isekai, which is a show where somebody gets transported to another world, except it kind of flips the premise on its head a bit, and the main character is it. I don't want to like ruin or spoil anything, but it's just comedy. It's just nonstop like comedy and some good action in there as well, but it's a fun time. So I feel like that's something that could really, you put that on early to get all the young people in and to just hook people into the block. After
Surprisingly,
that, what's that?
surprisingly wholesome.
Yeah, surprisingly wholesome.
Surprisingly wholesome.
Although there are some scantily clad goblin girls in there.
Yes. Goblin girls, you
Very
say?
wholesome.
I mean, his secretary is interesting.
I gotta
Yeah.
look this up.
So after that, I figure you go into what I put here was Attack on Titan season 3 specifically. So Toonami did play the first season of Attack on Titan back in the day. They never played season 2 to my knowledge, which is fine because I didn't really like season 2. But season 3 I feel like is way better, and
Super
it's
Yeah.
got that. I feel like that's a good transition from that younger audience into a slightly more mature audience, because there is a lot of like violence and things like that, but it's also very action packed, so it's fun to watch. And so I put that on right after That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. After that, we go a little bit more serious. Sorry, I have to sneeze and I'm holding it in. I'm fighting it.
Just sneeze it
While
out.
you-
No,
and
your brain's gonna explode.
And while you do that, I want to say that I'm not sure I'm cool with the Goblin Girl. She's a little too Shrekky.
Yeah. Well, she's a goblin.
I know, but she looks like.
He's a fucking goblin.
I mean, I didn't know. There's all kinds of goblins.
I mean, I wasn't joking. She's a goblin.
but there's like green goblins, red goblins. There's all kinds of goblins.
Okay.
God, people, could you be any more judgmental?
Yeah, I could try.
We could definitely be more judgmental.
After Attack on Titan season 3, I went with something more mature, and we're gonna kind of slow it down a bit here. I went with Violet Evergarden. So you're
Nice.
ramping up the action and the maturity, and then it's with Violet Evergarden you're getting something a little more thought provoking and
You wanna? I get it.
yeah.
It's what time is this?
Now at this time it'll be around midnight. I
Perfect.
believe?
So you're trying to like lull them to sleep, you know?
Right. But if you're up past midnight and you're getting a little loopy, that's where we go into the next show, which is going to be a double feature because each of these episodes are they're short episodes. I went Agretsuko and Pop Team Epic.
Damn.
So Agretsuko, for those that are unfamiliar with it, is about a red panda, and she is a a lady that I've only watched a couple episodes of it, but it's hilarious. She like works at an office, but she's also
awesome.
she's also like into like metal as well.
Like heavy metal.
Yeah, like heavy metal. Like so
Yeah.
it's just this goofy, over the top ridiculousness. And then of course Pop Team Epic, also ridiculous and over the top and just insane. But yeah. So
Papu de Piku.
right. So I put those back to back and also like Toonami back in the day used to do stuff like that with like these shorter episodes that they would hit you with like in the middle of the night. So I felt like that would be a good vibe for that post midnight. After that is where it gets weird. Because,
What?
Yeah, because now it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. You should definitely be asleep, but you're up. You might have had a few drinks. You may be a little high. I don't know.
Hi.
But if you're
Who do you
not
think you're
high,
talking to?
if you're not high, you're gonna be high after watching Devilman Crybaby.
Okay, wait a second. All right, so I gotta stop here for a second.
Yes.
Devilman Crybaby, despite how it's rated on Netflix,
Mhm.
how is it rated on Netflix?
I don't know.
I actually don't know. I never looked at that. I don't look at that stuff anymore.
Let me see. Devilman Crybaby rating.
It has to be rated mature. Like it
Oh,
has
for
to be.
sure.
There's no way
Yeah,
it's
no,
not,
absolutely.
Right? Like there's no way.
Yeah.
not.
I'm gonna make a comment, and I want to make sure I get the rating right.
Yeah. Look, this is my fantasy Toonami block. I'm not saying it would happen. Obviously, Netflix owns the rights. They're not going to let that go. But
Oh, I totally get that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just pull it up here on my anime list. They'll have the rating.
Mhm.
It is rated
PG. I'm just
R.
kidding.
It's rated R.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So it's airing at
As it
1
should
o'clock
be.
in the morning
no.
on cable.
I would like to argue with you that this show
show?
should not be rated R.
What?
Because I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Rated R, as defined, is that a minor of any age can watch this with an adult.
Oh, you would say no minor should watch this,
And
period.
I will tell you that no child ever of age, regardless of a way you can show this to like a 14-year-old.
You're right.
But I will say though that at 1 a.m. I think cable rules are different, and you
Definitely.
probably could air Crybaby.
Yeah, you could have like
At 1
swear
a.m.
words at 1 a.m. on cable. Like Comedy Central does that.
Dude, there's like
Yeah.
straight up
Can you
sex
have
scenes.
I don't think so. So they may have to edit it
Okay.
a bit. I'm not sure.
Dude, a woman's titties bite off a man's head.
Right.
That's true.
Yep, I remember
It
that.
does happen.
It does happen.
And her
He's not wrong.
a vagina
Uh-huh.
slices a guy in half
Hey,
like a pizza.
this is my Toonami block, okay?
I'm just saying that happens.
They'll probably censor some of that stuff out.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
fine.
for sure,
It'll be fine.
for sure.
Do you remember this? Do you remember the wet dream scene?
Yeah. So
Okay,
look,
I'm
I'm
just
not
saying.
saying.
Oh man,
I'm just saying.
All right, whatever. Anyway,
Spackle.
so. Oh God.
I'm just saying it happens.
he
So-
needed to paint his ceiling.
At this point, I want to bring us home.
Okay.
All right. We started off with something that brings people into the fandom. We got slightly more action packed and aggressive. Then we went mature and thought provoking. Then we went goofy and wild. Then we went super dark. And now we're gonna finish off
I got it.
with one of the best anime of 2018.
You're going straight wholesome, right?
I mean, I don't know if it's wholesome.
Can I guess?
Sure. What is this?
It's MD Geist.
Oh, I was like, wait, why does this? No, we're not doing MD Geist.
Oh, why not?
No, absolutely not. We're doing Lupin the Third, Part 5.
Oh my
Classic
god.
Toonami, late night, 2 o'clock in the morning, Lupin the Third.
My
Lupin the
heart.
Third.
Oh. I grew
I
up.
also had that on my list, and then I saw you put it on. I was like, damn it!
I
gotta
also
take
had.
it off.
I also had it on my list, and then I put
We
Rage of
all
Bahamut
had
in.
Lupin Part 5.
You have to. You have to. Lupin is Toonami.
Although I think part 4 is better. So
Well, I put Part 5 because it's the most. I'm putting the most recent stuff. I went with all 2018 shows.
You're
I was
not
gonna
wrong
say,
though.
your lineup is completely 2018.
Yeah, I specifically wanted to choose all current.
Lupin used to round out the old
Yeah.
Adult Swim
Yeah.
at like 4 a.m.
I know. That's why I got it on
Yeah.
there.
And dude, I love it.
That's my block.
What a
man.
throwback move.
I feel
What-
like
you're-
that's a strong block right there.
you're giving an
A
homage
throwback with
to.
no throw. Dude, that's a super solid lineup. Are you kidding? You
Yeah,
get
hell
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then of
super
course
solid.
in classic Toonami fashion, you air it and then you just re-air it until 5 a.m.
Can I ask a question? How the
Yeah.
hell does Devilman Crybaby not have at least an 8 on Mal?
I don't know.
What is
Because
Wait.
fucking wrong with people?
Are you sure it doesn't?
Oh, I'm looking.
He's
right
looking at it
it.
right
I
now.
thought it did.
It's got a 7.96.
I mean,
Oh.
people.
that's an 8.
Oh my god, dude, I give up. All right,
Yeah.
that's pretty solid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
So I took a similar approach to Mitts, as in I try to pick like a weird one, some sci-fi, some action, one that is more feminine, and then I threw a classic at the end to round up my lineup the way Kazuo did. Well, although Kazuo's is a classic without being a classic, kind of, because it's part 5. But and I pictured my Toonami block around like the 6 through 11 or like the 7 through 12 ish time. So like it's definitely for like a little bit of like kids that stay up a little bit past their bedtime. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. But it starts off with Nana, and the reason I picked Nana, which
Because you love her.
Well, because I love her, one. And at first I didn't think I was gonna pick Nana, but I think it's a good show. It's long. It's a different kind of vibe to a lot of the like type of girls that you see in anime.
Just a bit.
Yeah, just a bit. So like, I mean, half the Nanas. One Nana is very anime. The other Nana is like not as much. And I think that's cool to show people, because when I first watched Nana, that was my first encounter with like, oh shit, like this girl is like, she's like badass. Like she's really badass. Oh shit. So
dude, she's totally your type.
Yeah, well, I mean, my type is my type because I watched Nana when I was like 14.
Oh shit. She was your one true first love.
Yeah,
she's
like,
your waifu.
She
for life.
She definitely was the waifu for sure.
But is she your laifu?
I don't know. Laifu is really between her and between Maho from Beck.
Maho, she's
no waifu,
I don't
no
know,
laifu.
dude. I don't know. It's hard. Anyway, so I think you start off with Nana. You know, you give some drama, give some cool music. You know, it's not hip hop, it's not smooth stuff, it's just straight rock. That's cool. And then to follow Nana, I figured I'd go just a little funny, but a little wholesome, but a little like popping off. And I went with Mob Psycho. First season, throw it on there after Nana. I think kids really like Mob as a character. I mean, I love Mob as a character.
Mabu.
Because you know, like it's funny because I was thinking in terms of power level, because I remember being a kid and like wanting to like get Super Saiyan, roll and like just like sit there and like focus to try to be a Super Saiyan.
Did you ever try to do that?
Of course I tried. Did you not try?
Did you succeed?
Of course. Look at me.
Oh
That's
shit!
True. He has ascended beyond Super Saiyan.
Yeah, of course.
You're Super Saiyan 4. I mean, your hair's still
I'm
black.
so Super Saiyan that my hair just went black again. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so Super Saiyan, my hair fell out.
Damn.
They couldn't even handle that shit.
You went Nappa
Yeah,
Super
dude.
Saiyan.
I've never been to that territory before, dude.
Nappa is in the. Is he in the Broly movie?
No.
Raditz is in it.
Oh, you know what? He was as a little kid,
Yes.
I think.
And
as a
Raditz
young
was
man.
in it too. You get to see Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa, all as little kids.
Chibi
It's freaking great.
And then after
Okay,
Mob,
sorry.
I know for what?
For sidetracking you.
Yeah, it's okay. My brain is all over the place too. But after Mob, I also think Attack on Titan is like a perfect Toonami show because it's a large cast of characters. It's a lot of yelling. It's a lot of action. I would start at season 1 just to have the whole thing play through. Although I super agree that season 3 is like the best season that they've aired, like so far. After Attack on Titan, I want to throw some sci-fi their ways, and like to me, I still think Steins Gate is like a super solid sci-fi to show. To like slow things down after Attack on Titan, because that show does slow. It's slower near the beginning, and then it ramps up. And then I want to throw a weird one out to people.
Throw it.
And I really think it'd be interesting to show kids ping pong the animation.
Yeah. Oh shit, he did it.
As my like quote unquote sports anime, because it is one, but also because it's so different that I would like that show to be the show that kind of like sparks some kid's imagination to be like, oh shit, like that's cool. Like I wonder if I could do that or something. And I think ping pong would be one like that could really motivate some kids to seek out something different than the usual norm of animation.
Super good show.
And to round it all up, the most classic and most obvious thing that
Drum roll, baby.
Anime fan could have done it to round up the Toonami block. If you stay up long enough, you get to watch this show, and it's Bebop. Get to watch Bebop. Get to watch that intro. Call it a day. Watch Spike do his thing.
Outside of Nana and Ping Pong, Isn't this all been on Toonami? I was thinking about it. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, but
she's
that's
calling
not
your
against-
ass
Damn,
out.
shots fired.
She's calling you
That's
out.
not against. That's not against the rule though.
no, it's not. I was just like,
I do appreciate that we both picked Yuasa shows.
Yeah, because we have to. He's great. But yeah, I mean, like it's what it rings true that Toonami has been doing a pretty good job at like picking anime to show, because as you can see, I really agree that Mob, Attack on Titan, and Bebop. No, I don't know if Bebop's been on Toonami.
Oh, yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh, I don't remember it. I confused that with
You were too
Outlaw
young.
Star, I guess. I was too young. I think I was like 9 when I started watching too. Oof.
You're
Oof.
young. You're a young man.
Yeah.
I'm a young boy.
they had Samurai Champloo on in 2016. That's
Yeah, you
interesting.
damn right.
Yeah, they did.
I'm just surprised it was on it in 2016.
I think they had it on way before that
on
too.
Adult Swim
That's
before.
awesome.
It was on Adult Swim years at the time that Toonami was peaking. Adult Swim had a Samurai Champloo.
I almost
Man,
put that on my list.
Man, back when I freaking watched Toonami, it was like Thundercats, Dragon Ball
Yes.
Z,
Yeah, dude.
Gundam Wing, and Ronin
Wing.
Warriors.
Bro, Ronin Warriors.
Ronin Warriors, man.
How about Saint Seiya?
I don't
Yeah.
recall Saint Seiya being on there.
Oh no, it was.
That maybe was
It's
later.
funny because you guys said, "Oh, we chose Yuasa shows," and I almost said, "Oh, maybe I should put on Kaiba." And then Icy Rose in the chat said, "Oh, does Mandy have to put on Kaiba?" I almost said
Good
it.
job. Good job, Icy Rose, knowing your host well. Raised.
I mean, he is my
Praise.
manager for a reason.
Yes. All right, Mandy, you're up.
I didn't really put as much thought into the timing of it. I just kind of put down things because I didn't watch Toonami when I was a kid.
No.
But
They kept her in a
I
cage.
know we didn't have cable. I didn't get to watch it. My first one I put down was Noragami because I think it
Solid
can be
pick.
enjoyed by all ages, and while it has it does rely on mythologies in Japan, but I don't think it's required to know any of that stuff to understand. It's a very easy, straightforward series with a lot of action and a lot of comedy, and I think it'd just be enjoyed by all ages. I put down Kuroko no Basket, but it doesn't have an English dub, so they're gonna have to
needs one.
give it an English dub.
It needs one. That's weird.
We should dub it, guys.
Yeah, it is so weird.
Dude.
There's
For sure, man.
30 male characters though. I don't know if we could dub them all.
Well,
Do you guys want to do an abridged series?
Yeah, please.
I put down because it's a sports show that's already popular in America. It has absurd levels of DBZ action in it, and it's so much fun to watch.
I considered it as well, and I think that it would probably be really popular.
And it has
Kuroko?
fan service for
Kuroko, yeah.
everybody, boys, girls, everyone.
Basketball is pretty. It's pretty much number 2 in the U.S. So
Then I had Haikyuu
Of course.
afterwards. A large cast of really lovable characters is shown in sports show.
Which does have a dub now.
Yeah, that one does have a dub and a really engaging story that you can watch each week to see the characters that you love grow. Then I went with Durarara because it hasn't been on Toonami and that does have an English dub.
A good one too.
And I think it can be enjoyed by a large age range too. It has tons of episodes. And I specifically put on my thing a catchy theme songs because
It's true
all
though.
of
I was gonna. I think of all your picks, when I saw you put Durarara down, I was like, damn, that is a super solid pick for Toonami because I think that show embodies all of the aesthetic that Toonami seeks
Yeah.
out. Like Toonami is all about the lo-fi hip hop, gritty city type atmosphere, and Durarara is all of that. And
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect fit for Toonami.
Also, there are definitely shows I watched as a kid, on Toonami and stuff, that weren't really great shows, but the opening song was so dope that it hooked me, and I was like, all right, I'll check this out.
Oh man! Anytime me and my sister go anywhere together, we always listen to the first OP to Durarara together in the car. We
have to.
love that song. Then I put down JoJo Part 4 because it's fucking JoJo.
Dude, I could imagine just a whole bunch of kids at the playground the next day going, "Oh no!"
Oh no! I tried to. When you guys were listing off time, I kind of rearranged my list a bit. So I put down JoJo because it's a bit more mature down towards the bottom. But I specifically said on my list because it has Rohan.
Yep. Yep. Kids
Rohan
need to know who
is
Rohan
my
are.
favorite.
Kids
And
need
it's
to see
better than
Rohan.
part 3. My last one was Claymore because it's a shonen action series, and I put that one last. I reorganized my list to make it last because it's very mature, but it's a shonen action series, dark fantasy with a very, very strong female protagonist.
Is that considered shonen, even though it's a female protagonist?
Well, it was in a shonen magazine.
I mean, it like.
I think it was Shonen
is.
Jump, actually, wasn't it?
I don't know. I watched all of Claymore. I loved all of Claymore. I don't know details like that though. But I think that's also a really good fit for Toonami.
It's serialized in Jump SQ.
That's cute.
The same magazine that Blue Exorcist
And
was
one
in.
of the genres on my anime list is shonen. That's interesting.
But yeah, I put that one last because it's a lot of violence, blood, and gore in that one.
People love their violence.
Dude, Arda is such a good pick, Mandy. Holy shit. I can literally picture it on Toonami.
Yeah, same.
I remember when Claymore came out on Shonen Jump too, because I was collecting Shonen Jump at the time. Shonen Jump came to America in 2003, and I started collecting immediately. And I had just piles and piles, because these things were thick. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a Shonen Jump magazine, but they are big.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had piles
They're
and piles
massive.
of, like, from 2003 to like 2006 or 7, or just tons of it. It was awesome.
I love it.
That one only has 24 episodes, though, so I don't know. No, 26. I'm sorry.
Mandy, I'm glad you recognize that JoJo Part 3 is not as good as Part 4 or as good as Part 2. JoJo Part 3 is the most popular JoJo in Japan.
Really?
Wow. What?
Part
and
3?
I don't understand why that is.
Jotaro is an asshole.
Jotaro is the reason why it's popular.
Oh.
But to me,
Oh no, Daisuke. That's probably why, because the voice actor. He's like a super major popular voice actor.
Daisuke. That's right. But I don't really understand. Like to me, Battle Tendency was the best. Part 2.
To me,
Oh yeah, for
Part
sure.
1 was the best.
You never what really?
That's the only part
This
I
is
watched.
the only one he's seen.
Get out of here.
Guys, let's do JoJo watch along.
Can we? Oh my! Oh
Can
no!
we?
Oh no!
We should make that a series. We just watch JoJo.
So
Can we-
Toonami,
I
you
would
need to
lo- Mandy, I would love to work with you on a JoJo Bridge series, dude.
Let's do it.
Dude, I just want to go back and start in like 97 and just watch all of these shows that came out on
For the
Toonami.
first time.
That'd be awesome.
Toonami, we just gave you thousands of dollars of consultation. Get it on it.
Yeah.
God.
Let us know. We can help you out.
Yeah.
We're professionals.
We are professionals, friends.
All right.
All right.
Any show
So
trivia question?
it's time to us to take a break, no news break, and in the meantime, you can answer this question that we got for you. Which of the following is not a Kyoto Animation anime series? Air, Clannad, Nichijou, or Lucky Star, Sound of the Sky? Oh, Lucky Star or Sound of the Sky. Let us know, and we'll be back in a second.
Hey everybody, Mitsuki's back, and it's time for more of your anime news. Well, leading us off this time, we have some remarks by Square Enix director Tetsuya Nomura, who is directing the soon-to-be-released Kingdom Hearts 3 video game. It was a news story at some point last year that a few leaks had happened where ROMs of the Kingdom Hearts 3 game had sort of slipped through the cracks and had made it into international markets. Well, he spoke about the trouble that his team went through because of this leak, and he says that, quote, after this incident, I can't help but reconsider things like simultaneous worldwide releases, at least for physical editions of games I work on from here on out. The risk of simultaneous worldwide releases is high. So this leak sort of may be impacting the future releases that are done by Tetsuya Nomura and Square Enix, as it has caused problems for the company. Next up, It looks like A Place Further Than the Universe, the manga, is going to be ending in February. Kadokawa's Comic Alive magazine revealed recently that Nene Yoimachi's manga adaptation of the original anime, A Place Further Than the Universe, is going to be having its last issue in its April issue, which is going to ship on February 26th. And of course, the A Place Further Than the Universe is a 13-episode anime that premiered in January of 2018 and was extremely popular amongst the anime community. So if you're a fan of this manga, it's going to be coming to an end, and if you haven't read it yet, you might want to go check it out. Next up, well, World Screen, which is an international news media outlet, had put out a comment on their website saying that, quote, Toei Animation was going to be making more episodes of Dragon Ball Super, which had a lot of people surprised, including Toei Animation, who denied having mentioned or announced any sort of thing about there being more Dragon Ball Super episodes coming out, and this was reported to Anime News Network as, quote, not true at this moment. Of course, Dragon Ball Super, a really popular continuation of the Dragon Ball Z franchise, which came out in July of 2015 in Japan. So if you are a fan of Dragon Ball Super and you were getting all excited about having more coming out, it looks like that is just a rumor and has perhaps no credible background behind it. Next up, back to the 73rd Mainichi Film Awards. We had mentioned earlier of the winner of the Best Animated Film, but also it looks like Liz and the Bluebird by Kyoto Animation has won the Nobudo Oufuji Award, which honors animated works that offer new forms of creative expression. So this is also a really high honor and a really great award that's given out during the ceremony, so it's good to see Liz and the Bluebird, which was also a very loved film from last year, getting some recognition. This is Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. Now, again, it's time to get back to the podcast. I just can't think of anything.
Well, you're in luck. You've got me, the master of not thinking. What do you need?
I'm trying to write a commercial for our sponsor, JList.com, but I can't think of anything funny this time.
This time? When have we ever been funny? And don't we already have a bunch of JList commercials written?
I know, but we need everyone to know that they can go to JList.com and their non-adult mirror site, JBox.com, for all their anime shopping needs.
Well, we already say it at the start of every show. I think by now everyone knows to head to JList.com for all their anime shopping needs.
But people may have an easier time remembering JList.com if we talk about it in a funny way.
You know what, Mitsugi?
What?
The commercial was inside you all along.
What are you talking about?
It's like Field of Dreams or something. Look, just hit stop on the recording and everyone will know to shop at JList.com.
Can we really do this? Is it funny?
No, probably not, but it is meta, and that's like cool and stuff, right?
I'll take your word for it. Hey, where are you going?
To clean up this fourth wall we just broke. JList.com. If you click it, they will fund? No, that's not right.
Now presenting Burning Questions with the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Would you rather
Yeah, I like these.
no.
I like these.
have taste buds in your butthole
What the fuck?
or poop out of your mouth but not taste it?
Taste buds in my butthole.
So you would rather taste your poop as you're shitting there?
Oh, well, you didn't explain what was
That's
gonna...
why the taste buds are in your butthole, is so you would.
okay.
God.
Taste buds in my butthole.
Oh, God.
What was the other one?
Or poop out of your mouth but not have to taste it?
I have to go with that one.
No.
I mean, that's disgusting.
Taste buds in my butthole.
No, that's you want to taste your own poop?
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You have taste buds in your mouth.
Yes.
If you hold your nose and eat food, you can't taste it. If I hold my nose, do I still fully taste it out of my butt? It's a valid question. It's a very important detail in the answer.
No, you have to squeeze your penis.
Oh God.
Because that is the nose of your butt.
And now, back to the podcast.
Cosmo,
Yes.
that may be our finest podcasting moment.
Really?
Probably not.
It is
It's
wow.
It's an important question that
It tells me a lot about your personality.
I
how
still
you answer.
ponder this from time to time.
I know. It's that's what
I've
I'm here for, guys.
pondered myself. Yeah.
I'm all about philosophizing.
Sure.
Philosophizing.
Yeah, man.
Philosophizing.
I'm a philosophist.
Philosophizations.
A velociraptor.
I'm a
Velociraptor.
yes, I'm a velociraptor.
All right, so the
my
intro
God.
trivia question was, which of the following is not a Kyoto Animation anime series? Air, Clannad, Nichijou, Lucky Star, or Sound of the Sky?
Well, I know 3 of them.
I know all of them, but like I didn't know this before reading the answer either.
I'm gonna say Sound of the Sky
The answer is
or Nichijou.
Sound of the Sky,
Oh, I was right.
which strongly resembles an a KyoAni anime.
Mm.
However, it is done by A1 Pictures.
Ah,
So,
very well.
interesting. So, shall we move on to...
We shall, Mitz. Speaking of A1,
yeah, it's
sometimes
a good steak sauce.
people like to give us an A. Sometimes they like to say we're number 1. And if you would like to do either of those 2 things, you can head on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review.
We're almost at 500 reviews, baby.
God damn, I'm good, guys.
Holy shit! Hey, this man.
You know what? Give me an elbow bump.
All right.
There you go.
Just like Slideways 001 did.
It's time for iTunes review.
Slideways 001 says the greatest ever. Mitsugi is the greatest. You
Is that-
son of
is
a
that what he
bitch.
says?
Yeah, he did.
He said
But he
that,
also
yeah.
said Kazuo is awesome. All hosts, really. They are good at talking with fans. I don't have much time to watch anime because I work a graveyard shift, so the sift through the junk tells you what's great, and I love the banter. I get the $7 a month level.
Oh.
It's worth it so much.
Thank you so
This,
much. We
this
love
guy's
you.
fan. This guy's real
you.
fan.
This guy knows
Thank
what's
you
up.
so much, man.
He's all about that.
We
That's
really
right.
appreciate it. And if you're listening right now during your graveyard shift, hey, listen, we love you. Thanks for
Yes.
listening.
I love you.
I
Intimately.
love you so much.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
I hope
you can pet me like once if you want.
I hope you're doing all right on your
I will
graveyard
snuggle the
shift.
shit out of you with your entire graveyard shift.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I'll drink coffee with you.
Ooh, wow.
Nice.
Ooh, wow.
Nice.
Very provocative, Mandy.
Do you guys know
Oh,
what time
was
it is?
it? Oh, I'm
Please,
sorry.
please, calm down.
I-
Coffee,
I
Mandy,
Need to
please.
get my
Jeez.
hormones under
You
control.
just
so
met him,
sorry.
Mandy.
Asking him for coffee already. God.
Do you guys know what time it is?
No, Mitz, you tell me. Today, we're going to be doing impressions.
Impression time, believe it.
Oh,
It's impression time, bitches.
I was going to
It's
say
that
total time.
The most wonderful time of the year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I should probably look up the show that I'm doing impressions on. So I can have
Damn.
No. Just so I have the
With
He
Neverland.
didn't watch any of them.
I watched all of it.
With Neverland's
guys,
beaming
I just
and
wanna
princesses screaming and Dorodo's here.
You want to tell us about Dororo, Mitz?
I didn't watch
Oh,
Dorodo.
well, then why are you saying...
I'm just trying to sing the song using the...
Well, I've only got one show to talk about today. You guys, I think...
Me too.
well, So,
I have two.
so
I believe.
Enzo, do you want to start? And then Mitz,
Sure. I was
and then
gonna
Mandy.
say I was looking up Circlet Princess just to get the background info that I wrote up for it, and instead of typing Circlet, I spelled out XYRXKET, and I don't really know.
And Google still found it.
Was it because your fingers were like over one space on the keyboard, and so you just typed? That's happened.
I'm hoping that's the case because I've been spelling bad all day today. But
That's
anyway.
okay.
So one of the shows I passed was Circlet Princess, and this is not a show that I really had super high on my list. But as we all recall from when we did our picks at the beginning of the season, we all had to dig kind of deep because although there aren't that many, like, although overall the shows are like not the most trash season in the world, we were all kind of wanting the same shit, so we had to dig for like our dip picks. But yeah, so one of my picks I had.
My picks.
Oh wow,
I know,
Get
dude.
my picks out.
I don't know what's going on.
that's
I'm
okay. We're
brain
just
all over
getting
the place.
started on the podcast. You got to warm up a little bit. We're only an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So Circle Princess is basically about, because I don't really like the Mao summary, but it's a
Wait,
world.
wait. Is it about a princess with a circlet?
there is a girl with a circlet. There is. It's crazy, but so it's a world where there's an esport that revolves around this AR game called Circlet. Oh, I think that's what it's called. Circlet. Yeah, Circlet. And you dress up in like a bodysuit gear thing, and then you step into an arena, and then the arena becomes your battle stage, and then you get a virtual sword and weapon or whatever, and you duel it out with your opponent, and that's how you win. If you win, you win. The show starts out with this red hair girl, Ayumu. I think her name is Ayumu.
Those are both Japanese girl names, Ayumu and Ayumi.
Yes, that's.
I've heard boys named Ayumu as well.
Yeah, but so and I want to keep this one short because I think my next anime I want to talk about is one that I really haven't like super enjoyed. I want to give more thoughts out on this one, but the biggest red flag for me immediately with Circuit Princess is we don't have time for this shit, so we're just gonna throw the main character into a situation and y'all just gonna accept it move. Where main character meets top contender of this game outside of an arena. Main character has never played this game before, ever, never even heard of it, or the girl that's like one of the top players ever, right? Main character, because reasons, gets thrown into a random match with said like world-class player. Main character, through the power of like fucking believing in herself, beats the top class contender in this game. Not only does she beat her, but she beats her through like using really high mechanically demanding techniques that are rare to pull off.
Well, Enzo, I don't know if you've ever seen me play League of Legends.
Oh, I've seen you.
I've seen
you play League of Legends.
But
it's a good time.
People have, and they've told me. I mean, they've used such words as God tier, masterful.
I remember specifically Spin to Win.
Spin to Win was very often used.
So, so it's not unheard of that an amateur could come in and completely dominate someone who has devoted a large portion of their life to mastering something.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Definitely beat me every time.
Yep.
In League of Legends. Yeah,
yep.
For sure.
Remember when we played drunk? That was fun.
Oh, that was. Yeah, that was a good time. But yeah, so that immediately and this happened immediately in the show. Like, main girl walks up to this place and all that happens, like boom, boom, boom. And it just left such a weird taste in my mouth because it's been such a long time where I've felt the shortcut effect where like, yo, like y'all really just did that. Like, game one, she's the best. Like, what? And that kind of just like ruined the show a little bit for me. And on top of just it having no like there's no like substance to anything. The battle scenes are pretty cool. The girls are attractive and they're dressed not much.
Okay.
Dressed not much.
Yeah,
They're
sure.
dressed not
English
much.
is hard.
Words.
in their battle outfits. So I don't know. It's a whole lot of stuff that I don't really enjoy in anime anymore. So I am going to fail Circuit Princess.
That is one big pile of shit.
Could you say this is for a particular audience, perhaps?
Totally.
Or is it just total?
If you like a large cast, this like a cast of like 5 main characters, do it. If you like AR, VR, esports that much, try it out. If you like cute girls playing video games at a serious level, which is cool actually, watch it.
Watch gamers.
Yeah.
Watch okay, sure.
Yeah. It's an all female protagonist cast with an esport backdrop for a story. So if those things interest you, watch it. I don't think you're gonna get much out of it though. That's at least for me. So that's why.
Okay. Mitsuki.
Oh, I'm up?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you and Enzo are the only ones with 2.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You mean with 1? That's not true. Mandy has 1 or someone has 1.
What?
Yeah, I have 1.
Me and Mandy have 1.
I have 1.
Oh. I have 1.
Yeah. There's 5.
How does math work, Mitz? I'm gonna need a quick.
Who
I don't
is
know.
the one?
I don't know. I'm not sure
Can
how
you
your math
quickly
works.
explain addition to me, if you wouldn't mind. I'm gonna need
So
a
1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is
That
4.
is 1,111.
Oh.
No, is that not how that works?
Get out of my.
Oh shit.
All right, so I'm doing Grimm's Notes, the animation, which is a Brains base property. The story is it takes place in many fairy tale worlds.
Oh.
I would say it starts off in the Little Red Riding Hood world, and there are storytellers that they're like basically they create the worlds in which they are jumping between in the show. So they start off in Little Red Riding Hood, then they go to Don Quixote, then they go to Alice in Wonderland in the first 3 episodes. And in this world, everybody is given these books called a Book of Fate, which basically, in a very sad way, by the way, tells the person who gets the Book of Fate, and pretty much everybody has one, and they can only read their own. They can't read anybody else's. It tells you all the events of your life from start to finish.
Okay.
So, like, boy, life must suck.
Yeah.
When you know exactly what's going to happen from start to finish in it. And then there are also, in addition to the storytellers, there are also these things called chaos tellers, which basically screw up the story.
Okay.
Okay? So, like in Little Red Riding Hood, like Red, I guess her name is, whatever you call Little Red Riding Hood. Hood. She's supposed to get eaten by the wolf,
She's
right?
little, she's red,
First
she is
name
writing,
Red,
and her
last
name is Hood.
She's supposed to get eaten, right?
Yeah.
Well, and then the hunter comes and saves her. But like she gets a little tired of this happening, and she gets corrupted basically, and she herself causes a breakdown in like the story world. So these characters come in, and their names are X, Shane, Raina, Tao, and
Towel?
T-A-O.
Tao?
Oh.
Tao.
Shane?
Towel.
And they're basically coming into this world to fix the story, to put it back the way it's supposed to be. And every episode, the Chaos Teller like minions show up, which look an awful lot like the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts. They're almost like little black, rabbity looking bug things. And they attack them and fight them, and then the Chaos Teller is kind of like the boss that they have to fight in the episode, and it is what it is. So in the second episode in Don Quixote, it's actually Don Quixote's like strong and powerful imagination that corrupts the world around him, and they end up having to fight like I think it's like a giant windmill, because Don Quixote like goes crazy in the story. He's crazy and he starts attacking windmills and shit.
Isn't that the store that you buy things at in Japan?
No, that's Don Quixote. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it is. So, like, Don Quixote basically corrupts the world with his powerful imagination, and the windmill, like, attacks the city, and they end up battling the windmill. So, like,
windmill attacked the city? What?
yeah, think of like a...
This is amazing.
Think like a mech...
I'm on drugs right now. Is this happening?
Oh, it is.
For those listening, it's the antibiotics.
And also heroin, but mostly
We're going to let that go.
I don't know what the doctor gave me, but...
So... Yeah, because like think like a cross between Shadow of the Colossus, like rock monster,
the windmill,
and think about it. Windmill's a big thing,
sure,
very large.
Yeah,
there's
so
intimidating.
So you can imagine Don Quixote like stabbing his sword into the ground to prevent the wind that is being generated by the windmill from blowing him away.
Okay,
in the battle, which is how it goes down in the show. And then they fix his world, and then they go into Alice in Wonderland. So, like, this show is basically, like, they're going to... And by the way, I think Alice in Wonderland is going to be probably 2 episodes because they didn't finish it in the 3rd episode. But
If this wasn't a fever dream already, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm
in
just
that one.
picturing like a windmill, like a giant fan. Like, you know how sometimes when you stick your finger in a fan and it hurts a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, that's what's doing.
Yes.
It's like coming down on your house, just whap, 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 whap.
And it makes the sound like, you know, when you talk into a fan, that's how its voice sounds.
Oh my god, amazing.
Good lord. Oh my god. Okay, you guys are insane. All right, I love it. I love it though. So, Grimm's Notes the animation is neither a good or a bad show. It looks fine. Like, it looks pretty decent, you know, especially for Brain's base. I mean, it's at least colored well. Everything's like kind of bright and nice looking. And it's not, I wouldn't call it the best animation in the world. But like, the problem with Grimm's Notes is that to me, it's just such generic anime. You know what I mean? And I just don't, the characters have no backstory. There's nothing to them. Like, if they die, I wouldn't give a shit. In fact, they probably would be better off dying, because then they would serve more of a purpose than just being like random, like, blobs that fill the roles of the main characters.
They just get sucked into the windmill and shredded.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. That would have been great. Like it.
What if they all died and then a completely different anime started up?
Like a jet engine sucks him in and shoots him out the back like a wood chipper.
Oh my god,
that would be fantastic.
Did you ever hear about the old Asian lady that would throw pennies into the jet engine?
No.
No, this is like a legit story. She for good luck.
What the?
She would throw like loose change into a jet engine.
What?
She got arrested
What
for
are
it.
you saying right now?
This is legit. You can look it up.
No.
Crazy. All right. Anyway, I am not passing Grimm's Notes the animation. It's
Oh,
super
that's a surprise, but it's twist.
It's super generic. It has a 5.8 on my anime list.
That's
know,
rough. That is rough.
No one's loving it. No one's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
care that I
Circuit
say
Princess
it.
also have 5.8 too, man. These two shows, bro.
Hey, this is not a competition. Can't pass it. Too
What a
generic.
good fail drop. That's
And
perfect.
I think
good.
it would be just too much of a painful life for me to watch this whole freaking show. So no way. Next.
Oh man.
Mandy, would you like to go next?
You want me to go? Well, mine's going to be incredibly quick because my next one is Morose Mononoke in season 2.
Morose.
By the same studio, Period Plus, that did the first season, same director, same cast, and honestly, it's exactly the same. And I don't really mean that in a bad way. It's just it's a very simple slice of life. It doesn't have amazing animation or anything. It relies a lot on comedy more so than a lot of the other like yokai shows that we have out right now. It's very fluffy, very comfy. The first 3 episodes, honestly, it's a lot of the same what was in the first season. It's a very no, I wouldn't say extremely episodic, but I mean each episode does kind of go into the next one, but so far it's just following these two. There's Abeno. If you haven't seen season 1, Abeno, who's the Mononoke, and he exercises spirits from the mundane world and has contacts in the spirit realm. And then Ashia, who is his apprentice in the first season, Abeno gets rid of a spirit. Ashia can see spirits, and Abeno gets rid of one that is attached to him, and Ashia can't afford the bill for it, so now he's become his apprentice. And it's about their bond and growing together in their friendship, and it's very fluffy, but honestly, out of some of the other shows that we have, they have way more promise to them than this show. If you liked season 1, you will definitely like this season. I'm not passing it because there's not really much to discuss. But I do think it's cute and worth a shot if you do like that sort of fluffy slice of life show. So yeah.
I'm too old for this shit. Opie, I think I'm getting too old for this stuff.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit. Will you follow me again? I'm getting too old for this shit.
That is the longest fail drop.
It's great though.
Took forever.
How do you feel if I go first and we finish with yours? I think all of
You
us
son
enjoy
of a-
yours.
Sure, yeah, that's
Son
fine.
of a bee.
Do what you gotta do.
Beach.
Okay, sure. So my next anime is Dororo, which was my second pick of my picks, and I was really looking forward to watching this one because the premise sounded interesting in a way, in the sense that it's like a guy trying to fight, like he's fighting to gain his like body parts back, and at first I didn't really know how they were gonna frame that, um, because it's one of those plots that can come off kind of like quirky, but and executed poorly, and I was worried about that. But then I hit play, and Dororo is about a samurai lord who, in a deal with demons, gave the life of his son away. It not the life, but like his son's like organs, like his son's skin,
What?
arms,
What the
all
hell?
yeah. It's I know.
Bastard,
Listen,
son of a bitch.
I know this sounds crazy. I know, that's why I was worried. I was like, how are they gonna do this? For example, I'll let you know, like and this happens within the first like 10 minutes of the show. Like the baby, the Lord's son is born, and because the deal with the demons was already struck, the child was born with no skin, eyes, or like functioning limbs at all.
What?
He's just a head.
That's fucked up.
What are you watching?
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm telling you, but so the Lord is like, okay, like I don't need this son. Like this son is like I don't need him.
Jesus.
Worst father of the year award.
No, trust me, it's so fucked. So the Lord is like, put this child in the river, like kill him, he's done. So the lady
Put him in the river. Put him out of his misery.
He keeps getting worse and worse.
That's what he's saying. He's like, go drown this kid. Like I don't want him around. I don't want
Okay,
him
I'm
around
like, don't
anymore.
send him down the river. Like,
But
cut his head off.
things happen. The kid survives, and from there we jump forward 16 years. Now
He has like no head. He's like headless.
no, he has a head.
He has no skin, no limbs.
I don't want to spoil like what happens when he gets abandoned at the river, but it's pretty cool. And so we jump forward 16 years, and we run into this kid named Dororo, which I'm assuming is why the show is named Dororo. And Dororo runs into this guy who he swears has like a very porcelain face. He's like, wow, this guy is like, he's very doll like, and I wonder why. All of a sudden, demon attacks, and this porcelain looking dude takes off his arm to reveal a blade arm, so the arm is fake, and then he has another blade in his other arm too, or I think it's his leg, I forget. And this dude just fights off this demon, and the choreography is super smart because they take into account the fact that he doesn't have like real limbs, so he's like using momentum and physics to fight. Like he has to use his blades not only to kill but to also like balance himself and everything. It's really well choreographed. And the cool part to me though was that when porcelain dude kills this demon, it was I think the relation is that this demon was like one of the ones that struck the deal with the samurai lord, and in killing him, he gets his skin back, and you see his skin growing back, and that's when his like the porcelain face was an actual mask, because he doesn't have a face, but now he does. And it sounds crazy. It really sounds crazy.
A little bit.
But I am loving it, and it's cool because, and I tweeted this. It's silent protagonists can be really cool or really poorly done. The main character doesn't talk. Hyakimaru doesn't talk. He doesn't have a mouth or a throat or whatever.
Does he periodically go, yeah? No, doesn't do that. All right, never mind.
Yeah, fantastic. It's so good.
Damn it.
And the OP is
the
great.
OP's dope.
Yeah.
And so when you have a silent protagonist, it makes them a focus, because you're like, this dude isn't saying anything, so I'm curious. And it bolsters the importance of the supporting cast. The supporting cast has to be good. The people around them have to be good, because they're going to fill the silence of the show primarily. So far, it's checking both those boxes. The fight scenes are cool. Music's cool. The art reminds me of like Sword of the Stranger, but not as detailed, because that movie is ridiculously well done. And I'm definitely passing the show. I'm looking forward to this dude's hunt for his body.
Oh, wait, wait. Oh, and boom goes the dynamite.
Well,
So the manga for Dororo by Osamu Tezuka, who did Blackjack.
And
Some of Astro Boy as
Astro
well.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, he's had obviously the Blackjack kind of remake and an Astro Boy kind of remake recently, and neither of them were that good. So, but I'm pleased to hear that this is at least starting out really good. That's cool.
It's crazy. I read somewhere, I'm trying to remember, that Tezuka in his lifetime has already done like over 500 manga.
Good Lord.
It's
so ridiculous.
Insane. Yeah.
The god of manga.
He really is the god of manga.
Yeah.
That's
so,
ridiculous.
I guess I will go last. The show that I will be doing an impression on is a little show called The Promised Neverland.
Dun, dun.
Or the Japanese title is Yakusoku no Neverland. I'll just read the synopsis here because it's pretty good. It says here, at Grace Field House, life couldn't be any better for the orphans. Though they have no parents, together with the other kids and a kind mama who cares for them, they form one big happy family. No child is ever overlooked, especially since they are all adopted by the age of 12. Their daily lives involve rigorous tests, but afterwards they are allowed to play outside. There is only one rule they must obey: do not leave the orphanage. But one day, two top-scoring students, Emma and Norman, venture past the gate and unearth the harrowing secret behind their entire existence. Utilizing their quick-wittedness, the children must work together to somehow change their predetermined fate. So this is an anime brought to you by Studio Cloverworks, who has worked on such shows as Darling in the Franxx, Bunny Girl Senpai, Fairy Tail, the final series, Persona 5 the animation, and a bunch of other shows as well. So they've been around a bit. The director is a director that I like some of the work he's done. He directed Elfen Lied, or Lied, or Lead. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce it. Something like that. But anyways, I actually really like that anime, and I know a lot of people don't. But I really got a lot out of it.
I love me some Lucy.
Well, okay. I like it for different reasons. He also directed...
Well, we all have our thing, right?
Yeah. Sure. He also directed Kimi to Boku, a bunch of other stuff, like really old Ninja Gaiden anime. He's been around for a long time, and is, well tested. So this show is, as I mentioned in the synopsis, it's about a group of orphans. They discover a horrifying secret about their orphanage. I guess we kind of have to spoil
I've already done the manga.
More?
Okay, so we'll
Please, sir.
This is something that is
more.
revealed literally in the first episode. So if you don't want to know anything about this, including what happens in the very first episode, please skip ahead.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
I think we have to mention it.
But you have to. It's the first episode.
Yeah.
So in the first episode, towards the end of it, they discover that their orphanage is a farm. The children are being raised to be sold to affluent demons who would then consume their brains. So that's a big part of why they're tested.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a big part of why the kids are put through such rigorous academic testing, is because the more developed and more advanced their brain is, the higher price it goes for.
Damn.
So a 12-year-old with a 200 IQ is going to be like a fine wine.
You can have your mojo, but I get your
the baby. Yeah. So two of the top kids in the school, two of the three. There are three actually four.
Am I looking at him right here on the screen?
The redheaded girl, and
That's a girl.
yeah, and I guess the other
Emma.
guy's not in that image that you're looking at. He's got white hair or
Got
gray
it.
hair.
Norman.
Norman, yeah. So those two discover that one of the kids who is being, quote, adopted actually is being taken away and has been killed and is going to be consumed. So they have to figure out, how do we get out of the situation? Not only get out of the situation, but how do we get all these other little kids out of the situation as well? They determine that, of course, since it seems pretty commonplace that they're being sold for food, the outside world must be overrun by demons. So not only do they have to discover how to escape, but how to survive outside of the walls of their school, which is, I mean, the sense of hopelessness that you have when watching this show is so intense because it's like
it is. Man.
These are small children, all under the age of 12, who not only do they have to escape a certain situation, like there are plenty of like movies about somebody trying to escape a killer in a house or what have you, or on a plane, but like the world is against them, and how would they possibly be able to survive that? It's so compelling and really interesting. Another thing I commented on Twitter was the cinematography. So I know we all kind of review shows differently. We all have different ways of reviewing. Mitsuki, I know you often say you like to review shows based on your enjoyment level.
Lately.
Yeah. For me, I've always been an anime fan, but I've also always been a fan of cinema. Like I was telling you, I was telling Enzo this the other day. Like,
definitely.
Ever since I was a kid, I would buy like a DVD and I would immediately watch the director commentary and the making of. Like, I'm very interested in how stuff is shot and how it's put together. And one of the things I really appreciate about this show is the cinematography, is the angles that they utilize throughout it. So a lot of times when they're shooting, and again, it's an anime, so there is no camera necessarily, but the way it's drawn, when the kids are like meeting in secrecy and they're talking about how to get out of this situation they're in, a lot of the shots are from like behind bookshelves or behind bushes. So you're seeing them almost as if you're a third party spying on them. So it adds to that kind of that sense of fear that they're being watched and that they're being monitored at all times. Another thing they like to do is in moments of mental duress, when the kids are, stressed out or going through an intense moment, they use a lot of like Dutch angles. I feel.
Look at you throwing out the terminology, Dutch angles.
This show warrants it though.
Yeah,
like he's so right.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it doesn't.
There's so much anime that's just like super basic in the way it's shot. But like this, they really work with, these are the emotions, and so we're going to try to display that for you through our use of cinematography. So, they do that a lot. There are a few nitpicky things I have with it. Like they do kind of overuse the Dutch angles a bit at times, where you're like, okay, I kind of get what you're doing, but it's a bit much. But I appreciate their effort that they're putting forth. And yeah, this show is very unique, and it's something that is, for me, like at least so far, way above the board of just a regular anime. I am a little concerned because it's only 12 episodes, and we're 3 episodes in, and they haven't really gotten anywhere.
And isn't the manga pretty long?
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah,
this is a show that is, in order to serve it correctly, is going to have to run for a long time. So I'm really hoping that they're able to, don't rush it, get through the 12 episodes at your normal pace.
Just buy the manga.
But I'm hoping that it gets picked up for more episodes down the line. So needless to say, I am absolutely going to be passing
hell yeah
the show.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you feel that, buddy? Huh? I have exorcised the demons.
That was terrifying.
The manga is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think they have done a fantastic job adapting it as well. I love the moments with Mama. Mm-hmm. Every time they show her, it's
so tense.
Yeah. And there's this one part in one of the episodes, no spoilers, but where Mama is talking to Emma, and you just feel this fear. You're like, oh God, what is happening right now?
It feels so heavy in that scene, dude.
It did that in the manga, and I was like, I wonder how this is going to seem in the anime. And the anime, it amplified that feeling. Yeah. It was so great.
It is a must watch, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm so glad that you've liked it and that you're passing it, bro. Because I have been waiting for this one weekly.
Yeah.
And Icy Rose did a poll on our Facebook and collected 167 votes, of which Promised Neverland was the number one picked anime of the 8 that he listed, of like what the top 8 would be from Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So the number one was Promised Neverland, and Dororo was number 3.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and I won't say what the rest were, but none of the ones that we failed were on there. So
okay.
I guess we're so far so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we'll have to see what the rest are. So, oh yeah. So now it's time for mailbags. Are we ready?
Let's do it.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime. Anime. Anime.
Mailbag.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to leave us a mailbag, the website, AAAPodcast.com, has a mailbag button along the top where you can submit mailbags, hentai mailbags, topic requests, submissions to Enzo Senpai's Notice Me Corner, and also anime Shark Tank ideas. If you have an idea for an anime and you want us to tackle it on our next Shark Tank episode, you can put that there as well. All that from the mailbag button on the website. First mailbag is from Bebop Anonymous, and he writes, or she, I guess, "Hey, AAA hosts. I'm always finding myself drawn to anime/manga because of their stories that are so different compared to Western stories, which a lot of the time can seem very repetitive. I know anime and manga has its tropes, but there are occasional ones that can blow you away with original stories and or characters. What's the last anime/manga that you read/saw that completely surprised you with its story and characters?" Is it Promised Neverland?
Jeez, yeah. I mean,
God,
for me,
I was going to say that because when I first started that manga, the synopsis, I was like, oh, this is going to end up being just another Seraph of the End. And it's not. It's not that at all.
yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. If we're talking the last one, it absolutely has to be Promised Neverland. That is, what I love. One of the things I love about anime is that they are not afraid to put the protagonist in dire situations and at times even kill off the main characters. Like, and Western media, shows are becoming more like that. But for the longest time, it was like, this is the hero. The hero always wins, and all that stuff. So I appreciate the level of disparity in this show.
For me, it's Devilman
Unless
Crybaby.
you're Optimus Prime. I'm just kidding.
Well, that was an anime, right? Transformers, the original Transformers.
The original?
Yeah, wasn't it
Was
Japanese?
it?
I'm pretty
I don't remember.
sure.
For me, it's Devilman Crybaby. I know that Devilman Crybaby borrows a lot of ideas from the older Devilman shows, but the way that they sort of depicted it and the execution of it made it really surprising to me, and definitely left me with a very unique feeling for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, because I haven't seen any of Promised Neverland yet, so I'm gonna say Crybaby for me.
Yeah. For me, it's another Yuasa property. It's not a show; it's a movie. I went to go see Mind Game in theaters about a year and a half ago. Yep, that's it's a ride. So if you want to experience something real weird, watch Mind Game the movie, and you won't be disappointed.
All right.
The writer was Ron Friedman and the director was Nelson Shin. Those don't sound like Japanese.
But it is a Toei animation production.
Was it really?
Yeah, Transformers is an anime or an anime like property.
All right, next mailbag.
Sure. I guess I'll read that one. Let's see here. This one comes from Yotaru Vegeta, frequent writer. It says, "Hey, AAA, I hope you're faring well. With the recent animation fail of My Sister, My Writer, do you think this lends credibility to Guy's, I don't know who Guy is, notion that there are too many cooks in the anime kitchen and we need a bloody, incredibly violent culling of production companies?"
I think he might be referring to me.
Oh, Mitsugi's notion that there are too many cooks in the anime kitchen. Okay, so he's basically asking that if you feel like there are way too many production companies, way too much going on in anime, that we need to murder them all with our bare hands.
There's 50 anime a season. There's 50 shows half the time. Do you need 50 anime every season?
I need at least 49.
As a true anime addict, I'm gonna say yes.
There is no freaking way.
No,
you don't need more than. Look, I'm just gonna say, you don't need more than like 4 or 5.
Whoa! Time out.
I'm saying you don't need to be watching more than 4 or 5 at a time. Maybe you don't. Like,
there's like Mandy's watching everything.
There's other things that need to be done.
I am watching a lot.
But like, maybe you need 20 shows and then you pick 4. And all 20 of those would be way better if they didn't spread their talent. So it's like this, right? If you have a big piece of toast, and you have 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, you're gonna spread that peanut butter on that toast,
right?
Real evenly, right?
Sure.
And when you take a bite, you're gonna say, "It's good. I can taste the peanut butter, but it's not very richly peanut buttery." Now, if you take a smaller piece of toast, albeit a smaller group of anime,
right,
and you spread that same amount of peanut butter. Because guess what? We can't manufacture more talent in the anime industry. Now, the people are the peanut butter.
Right.
You're going to spread that same amount of peanut butter over that smaller piece of toast. You take a bite, you go,
That's
oh
good peanut
shit, now I can really taste that peanut
Right.
butter.
I feel like there should
That's
be.
my analogy. You like that?
Sure. I feel like every season there should
You
be
like that?
there should be 20 anime, but only 8 of those anime should be good, and then one additional anime should be, let's call it a listener choice anime.
Well, that it is.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Thank you, Mitz. Moving along.
Wait. Mandy and Enzo didn't answer.
So like, I do believe in too many cooks in the kitchen, but only in certain scenarios. So like, I don't think it applies in this scenario. I wish that every studio was putting out good stuff, because if you gave me 20 good anime a season, that'd be great. I would watch it eventually, but I'm not like, I don't know. It's either way for me. I don't care too much.
I don't know.
about
Last
anime.
year was so good though.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot
what
of
that, and I think
really
that's
good
what
shows came out last
happening in my
year.
head. So 2018 was really solid.
So when you have so many anime that they have to outsource their labor to foreign countries that don't know how to draw anime, and you have anime studios literally begging people on social media, please save us, we're dying, because we're so overworked, you still think that we have the current amount of anime is fine?
Okay, all right.
I'm just spitting it how it is. Like,
no, yeah,
facts.
It takes half of the Philippines.
I didn't take this question that deep, friend.
It takes half the Philippines to
If
animate.
we're taking it that deep, then yeah, sure, call them. I don't care.
Damn.
I don't know. I feel like something needs to change though, because I hate saying, oh man, I hate saying, you can't have a job now, because
Yeah,
I don't know.
But like, I feel you, Mandy, but there should also be like if you're not good at your job, then hey, I'm sorry, you can't have that job. Like, that's just pretty standard.
Wait a second.
But is it them though, or is it the time constraints?
Wait a second.
They're saying.
Wait a second. Just because you have less anime doesn't mean you have less jobs.
Well, and I'm not talking necessarily about the animators. I'm talking about like the production company, the people that run the show. Like, if they're not good enough to work their employees correctly to create a quality product, then they shouldn't have a job. They shouldn't be, CEOs or what have you.
You could have consolidation of production companies.
Sure.
I don't know, like, if you have more people working on a single show, all you end up with is better animation. I mean, ostensibly.
Yeah. But then you also have to take into consideration, like, are they going to be able to make a return on their investment if they're hiring additional people and taking longer?
They're not hiring any more people.
Well, you just said if you have more people work on a show, then
that's
it's going to
because
improve quality.
That's because you've got less anime and the same amount of people.
Right, but anime isn't a company. The studios are the company.
But if I have 100 people,
mm-hmm.
if I have 100 people in 10 anime, then you got 10 people per anime.
Okay.
If I reduce it to 4 anime, it's 25 people per anime.
Yes, but each of those anime is a production company. That company would then have to hire those people.
What?
You're saying that if you have 100 people and 20 anime...
I don't know how many production companies it is. I'm just talking
What
about...
I'm saying is that, like, if you want to keep the number of employees the same, then those fewer companies will have to hire those additional employees, which will run their operating budget up.
But they have twice as much product.
So you're going to have the same company make... So that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you have a market size, right?
Yeah. Am I making sense, Enzo and Mandy? Are you getting what I'm saying? Am I crazy?
I think you're thinking that just...
Honestly, we were so close to being on time for this podcast today.
We're doing good. We're doing good compared to before.
I was just thinking that if you have to spend longer, like if there's less anime, you're spending longer on them, where are they going to get the money in between? That's why we have so many that are being pushed out so fast, just to make up the money for the good shit.
That's an argument. That's an argument that says that because you have fewer anime, the industry makes less money.
The production companies make less money.
Correct.
Yes.
You're making an assumption that just because there's fewer anime, there's less money being spent.
Well, people aren't really buying Blu-rays and DVDs, especially in Japan, though.
Yeah,
That's why they're so expensive.
But they buy other crap.
I guess there just really has to be a study done to determine like what level of quality is acceptable. Like, at what point can they reduce their quality and their effort and still maintain the same profit?
All I know is 10 years ago there were more like 20 anime made a season, and now there's 50.
Mm-hmm.
And with the population of Japan dropping by 800K a year, guess what? You're going back to 20.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or not, you're going back to 20.
The market
because they don't have any people.
The market will inevitably correct itself.
Yeah.
Listen to you.
Hey, I know at least.
Have you been listening to Jim Cramer?
I don't know who that is. Is he related to Kramer from that Seinfeld show? Is he that racist dude that said all the N-words?
No, that's just Kramer.
Oh, okay.
What is Kramer's first name in Seinfeld?
John. I don't know.
No, it's not. All right, next mail. Oh, this is a long one. That's an interesting.
This name is awful.
That discussion topic though is like my shit.
Yeah.
We should. I would love to talk about that more at a later time. Goblin Prick writes, "Hey gang, I love the show. The format is great, and you consistently put out highly entertaining content. On episode 447 in the Double Trouble segment, you discussed the battle between Frieza and Goku on Namek. Enzo and Kazuha both agreed that saving Frieza's life at the end of the battle was a, quote, total Goku move. I somewhat disagree with this characterization. This behavior heavily contrasts Goku's actions at earlier points in the series where he kills without giving a second thought, e.g., battle against the Red Ribbon Army.
Those are all robots.
What I'm trying to understand is Goku's moral code. Why does he kill some opponents but decides a mercy on others? For example, Goku versus Tao Pai, he attempts to kill him. Goku versus Baba's mummy, kills him. Goku versus Old Piccolo, kills him. Goku versus New Piccolo, spares him. Goku versus Raditz, kills him. Goku versus Vegeta, spares him. Goku versus the Ginyu Force, spares them. Goku versus Frieza, spares him. Thanks so much for all your hard work you put into the show. Much love."
Okay, a couple things. One, Red Ribbon Army, all robots. Two, all of the people that Goku killed was in Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. Goku did not kill Raditz. Piccolo killed Raditz. So Goku has spared literally everyone.
You see my comment below?
No.
Look what I said, the first line.
Yeah. And also, yeah, Mitsuki, you got that covered too. But also, like, so something to keep in mind with anime, and especially in fighting shows, is that the main character could be merciful, like Goku, and then they, just for action dynamic purposes, they will have, characters trying, doing like death moves, but knowing that the villain's gonna dodge. So like for action's sake, like, yes, like Goku will do a move that would certainly kill someone, but they're doing it to make him look cool because they will just make Frieza dodge or whoever the fuck dodge. What counts is at the end what the resolution is. So the action in between is, in shows like DBZ, I'm talking. There are other shows where it's not this way, but in shows like DBZ, the characters are gonna go all out and do crazy things because they can dodge. The storytellers are gonna make them dodge so that it just looks cool to the viewers. And then at the final moments is where you can really tell what the agenda is for whatever character.
Yeah, Goku spares everyone that is weaker than him. He only kills first off, he rarely ever kills, and if it's when he has no choice and he can't stop them otherwise.
The only person he ever kills in Dragon Ball Z that I can think of quickly is Boo.
Yeah.
And my thought here was very clearly delineated, and he had no choice but to kill Boo, because Boo is just so evil. My thought here was we're very clearly delineated where Goku seems to have a change of character in Dragon Ball Z compared to Dragon Ball. In Dragon Ball Super and in Dragon Ball Z, he's very merciful.
Yeah.
But in Dragon Ball, the original, he seems to be more willing to kill people. Oh. So if you look at his list, if you look at the writer's examples,
it's all Dragon Ball.
All the places times where he kills people, it's all Dragon Ball. Everywhere else is Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. So Toriyama clearly has just gone in a different direction with Goku at some point.
There's also a theory that Goku in Dragon Ball is more powerful than Goku in Dragon Ball Z. Because in Dragon Ball, he was a mythical creature. He had no power level. He just overcame whatever obstacle was in front of him.
Well, he has no power level in Super either. They don't discuss it.
Right. But it's been set in motion that, what power levels are. Whereas in Dragon Ball, nothing is known of his history. He's just a magical boy with a tail who rides a cloud and defeats all the bad guys.
He rides a cloud, motherfucker.
What a great mail. These mailbags were great today.
Yeah, man.
God, you guys are the shit. All right, thanks for listening to the podcast. We got out of here about 15 minutes quicker than usual. And of course, I hope you enjoyed everything we brought to the table for you today. If you want to help out the podcast, you can do so at AAAPodcast.com/join.
Do it.
We're going to do our hentai episode after this. So we are revising our hentai episode format starting in February. So we're going to be doing like more of a methodical, more entertaining format for you guys. So check that out. And of course, you can get our Hobby Addicts and After Parties as well on the website. So thanks for everybody who watched live. It's always great to have a live audience sort of chiming in and, taking part.
And you know what, Mitz? Since you didn't do it today, I will. You can follow us on Twitter. Mitsugi is at Pope Mitsugi.
I said I wasn't going to do it again, but
we should do it at the end of every episode. Why not? Pope Mitsugi.
Yeah, we should.
I'm at AAA Kazuo. Enzo is
I'm at ENZOBADIA, Enzo Badia.
And Mandy?
I'm at AAA_Mandy with an I.
And the main podcast is AAA Podcast.
Of course.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you next week with more impressions from the winter 2019 season. And until then, stay addicted.
Peace out, boys. Bye-bye. Love you, fam.
Toodles.